Greetings, one and all, and welcome back to Seeking the Hidden Realms. I am your GM, Joshua McGregor, and I am joined by Alberta.
Hello.
Pronouns, character, and her character's pronouns.
I'm Alberta. My pronouns are she, her, and my character is Suzie Coyne, who also uses she, her pronouns.
Carrie.
I am Carrie. I use they, them pronouns. And why am I gone Pierre? And I play Piuwhgieawrg, who uses he, they pronouns.
And Kieran.
Hello, I'm Kieran. I go by he, him. And I play Dendro, who also goes by he, him.
Amazing! Welcome, wonderful people! And we are returning for session 4 of Seeking the Hidden Realms. Quick recap. Last time we left off, a lot happened last session. A lot. Jeez. So, you all, we experienced that Ravenall, the, Dampier fairy, the undead fairy who had joined your party the previous session, teleported out with a portal that looked exactly like the one that that John, Piuwhgieawrg's husband, was pushed through. And they, Ravenall, ended up on a strange ship. Couldn't tell any details about that ship, with a bizarre, undulating red gelatinous living mass in an enormous chamber in a starship in an undisclosed location that read every thought in her mind and tried to and assumed a person's persona and tried to shove their hand down her mouth. When that failed, Ravenall ran, successfully stayed ahead of this thing long enough to teleport out, and upon returning to the ship, Ravenall's backstory was revealed, that she was part of a carnival, Moonlight Carnival, and a warforged exactly the same as the one that visited Piuwhgieawrg first visited the Moonlight Carnival, looking for Chesh, a Tabaxi bard who also had this supposed chaos factor. During that, Ravenall was killed and then came back to life and started teleporting. It has not stopped since. Had a little bit of a time under the floor of the Arrow, sort of being there for each other, a little heart to heart. Had a long rest, met a god, got the boon of a god, not sure if that was truly just a dream or whether that was real, what happened there.
We know.
You know.
We know.
Destroyed table and chairs, trying to turn on a kettle.
Can't wait to roleplay that.
Went to Giart, a junkyard, or scrapyard and repurposing town. Junkyard and repurposing town. Yes. To refuel, met with Dew, Warforged with a number 2 on their chest, who offered a quest, destroy the AI inhibitor held by Sam, the Dragonborn who came into town, is trying to learn the Manifest Blow Forged Heart technique from the Warforged there, and they'll refuel your ship for free. You've got messages from Suzie Coyne that she is on her way, is almost there at 7 a.m. in the morning on day 2 of our adventure. You'd leveled up overnight. That's where we are now. We are going to return to Giart for a second. Piuwhgieawrg and Ro, having paid for 2 units of fuel and tentatively met a thing, and having met the Estatorio brothers, who are the bodyguards of Sam, and having Piuwhgieawrg having been hit by the motorcycle and has their ribs broken at this time, return to the Arrow ship and reconvene with Atlas, Ravenall, and Dendro, who are there. Dendro, you are in the ship. you've got that message on your wrist pad from Suzie. Susie's almost there at that location. And Piuwhgieawrg and Ro come back from checking out this town.
Oh, hi guys.
Hi.
You kind of just left me here to chill. Where you been?
I've been bonked by a motorcycle.
You what?
I zoom. Owie.
Oh, you mean hit? Okay, right. Yes. Ooh.
Yeah.
You all right?
I mean,
Because I
No.
won't lie, you don't sound all right.
no. Is Atlas round? Kind of need a. Wait, would I know that? Hang on, I don't want to meta game. Would I know?
Yes, you would.
Okay, good.
You
Okay,
saw Atlas heal Dendro when Dendro went down on the table during
Right.
that first
Yes.
fight.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
Damn,
Alice.
Dendro.
Alice. Can you use your magic hands on me again?
15 points of lay on hands go
Thank
to
you.
Piuwhgieawrg, bring you back up to max HP and taking 15 off of that. 50 that you magical healing that you need to recover from broken ribs.
Yay! So great. Hang on. 15, you say?
15. Level 3 paladin.
Cool.
Yep.
Also, we need to defeat a guy called Sam.
Why?
Because you know the Warforged out there?
Yeah. Sure.
Well, they are trapped. They're not allowed to leave because this Sam has a device that is essentially trapping them here. And we need to punch it, break it, bop it, twist it. I'm so sorry. I had to do it
Please
to
don't
him. I had to do
apologize.
it.
Please
I had to
don't
do it to him.
apologize.
Why can't they do that themselves? I mean, I thought
Because,
we kind of had a thing to do.
well, here's the thing. They will refuel our ship for free if we destroy the AI inhibitor.
Ah. So it's like scratch their backs, they'll scratch ours.
Yes. Unless we fancy paying a... I just realised I never did the accent. Unless we pay a really large amount of money.
It's all good.
And you're in, folks.
And we're in.
I'm just
My
not...
secret, I'm always in character.
just as a small reminder for player Carrie, the Estatorio brothers did mention that if you sell out the Warforged plan to destroy the AI inhibitor to Sam will also reward you.
Yes, but a la Samuel L. Jackson, I realised that's a stupid plan and decided not to do it.
There you go.
So I'm not gonna share that with the group. I'm not gonna share that with the group.
Yeah, Ro from last session was very clearly being like, yeah, let's just free these Warforged as well. So I'm just gonna say that's what you put forward.
So that is our plan.
Who is Sam? Where is Sam? Why is Sam?
Well, these two bikers that bunked me,
Hit you?
they said they could take us to him once we all agreed democratically that we would like to meet Sam.
But we're not going to meet him. We're going to hurt him.
Oh, they don't know that.
Okay. How did they hit you?
With the motorbike.
Yeah, but did they just come out of nowhere? Were you already talking to them?
No, so we heard noises, and then when we went to go and follow them, they were trying out these motorbike tricks, very parkour, and then they didn't know I was there, and
Oh, so it was an accident. This wasn't intentional.
it was an accident that wasn't my fault. Yes,
Okay.
I may be entitled to compensation.
Right. I don't think we have the time to focus on that.
Okay.
They're the bodyguards?
Yes.
Right. What do they look like?
What did they look like, Josh?
Two halflings, Pick and Kramer Estatorio, riding one enormous, wide Mad Max-style motorcycle, wearing a ton of leather, spiked black hair, and just, like, chalk on their clothes and faces. These are the two bodyguards of Sam, who is a black dragonborn who's trying to learn a martial technique from these Warforged. And when they decided that they wanted to leave town and go to the next continent of Iron Boss, he activated an AI inhibitor, which prevents them from leaving, prevents them from hurting him or taking or interfering with the AI inhibitor in any way.
Rose said all that.
Thank you, Ro. Yes.
He was probably repeating back what his dad.
Absolutely, yeah.
Remember.
There's a couple of question marks at the end of his sentences.
Yeah.
So, what do we think? I lure them in with my plate of random baked goods.
Who are we luring in? Who? Which ones? There's three.
All of them, obviously, with my baked good, and then when they're most vulnerable,
Let's wait for Suzie.
She's coming
and
soon.
We'll cut away from you guys.
I'm in a very weird mood today. I'm very sorry.
Fully fun. We're going to cut to the previous evening, going back in time, back to the heroes meet within the Invo Dome at the center of the disc double city of Tomagot. Suzie, you just saw Benvolio leave the tavern and everybody else with a bounty hunter app on their devices, seeing an A-class bounty being put on Benvolio's head. 100,000 gold to kill him. Left in pursuit, you decided to stay. Because this is your alibi while the ship is being stolen.
Yeah.
9 o'clock comes, and the show is about to begin. The performance of Nyasa is somewhat legendary. All of the Erzuli bring just joy to everybody that they come across. The Erzuli are like just one of the like most unambiguously just like good people to have around. Everyone's just like, oh, they do poetry and they make wine and they sing and they do all of this stuff. It's never a bad thing to have an Erzuli around. And Nyasa has recently become a regular performer at the Heroes Meet because she is married to the owner of this establishment, Gula Ka, the Dreltar man. And this place fills up. The tickets selling outside for crazy amounts, but you have not needed to pay. Everybody's sitting in the place, going out and looking up because the performance space is actually the center of the Invo Dome. You hear people whispering, and you catch somebody saying, I heard that she's going to be wearing a Versace.
Suzie doesn't go in much for fancy clothing because she doesn't have the time for it, but that doesn't mean she doesn't appreciate it. And damn.
In fact, give me a perception check as this show gets on the road.
Use my new Suzie dice. Oh, that's 9. I haven't leveled up yet. So, perception 12.
12. An enormous commotion even as the show's about to begin and everybody's seeing the thing, eyes turn for a moment. 7 foot tall, coming in through one of the entrances, flanked by enormous Goliath and Loxodon bodyguards. Lean, flat, canine carnivorous face. Fur, a hungry, mean look in her eyes. And wearing one of the most exquisite outfits you have ever seen in your life. A Knoll woman walks in. None other than Michelangelo Versace herself. And there's a... as everybody exhales. Michelangelo Versace is a Knoll fashion designer. Knolls are a hyena folk in D&D. This particular Knoll is a Dalmatian, has a Dalmatian coloring to her fur. She is wearing fabulous yellow-ringed sunglasses, a floor-length seal fur coat, and a flamingo feather scarf. She is owner of Versace, the biggest fashion brand in all of Ignaculus. And the reputation that these people have is that they are savage, that they just eat up the competition. And this is that person entirely. You don't overhear on a 12 what she says, but she comes in and makes a remark to a person. That person's career's over.
Absolutely.
And they were trying to puff up their chest, crumple in on themselves, their self-esteem forever destroyed. As she comes in, elegant and tall and lean, and just too fabulous for anything. Then your attention comes into the center as magical lights begin to illuminate, and all other lights dim. And floating into this zero gravity space, elegance, grace, or magic somehow keeping her modesty as she turns in the center of this space, sometimes head directly to you, sometimes face to you, sometimes legs to you, constantly rotating, is what looks like a half-elven woman. The Erzuli, children of the goddess Mera and the elf lord Fenril, and wearing a dress that looks like yellow silk lined with patterns made out of pearls. Absolutely stunning woman in the center here. Short for an Erzuli, maybe 5'6", and very full of breast and hip. This woman has her hair all done up in this like just exquisite way, and it's this sort of mixture of strawberry blonde and gold color, and beautiful green eyes. And before she begins to sing, she runs a hand over her dress, and where her hand passes, it becomes clear that the dress that looked like it was made of silk and pearls was actually made of fur. And it transforms into midnight blue encrusted with diamonds. What transpires is an hour where you forget that time is real, where every second is infinity, and when it's done, it feels like a blip in your life that you wish you could reclaim. It's akin to a nirvanic experience. It's a 35 to 40 ability check roll on on a performance check. um, and everybody for that entire time is totally enthralled. And far too soon, that performance comes to its end, and the applause is deafening and rings out through the upper and lower cities of Tomoga. How's Suzie feeling?
A little out of body. Yeah. A little out of body. A little like she maybe wasn't breathing properly. She obviously knew that it was going to be an incredible performance, but it's something different to actually experience in it, for sure.
And Nyasa takes her final bow and descends to an area flanked with all of this muscle. Gives her a chance to go to these private rooms that are attached to the hero's meet proper.
Right. So earlier in the evening, I had a little, like just before the show, spoken to Minerva and used Minerva's wrist pad to send a few messages to Dendro, sort of telling them what to do next. And I'm gonna go back to Minerva now. Say, have you heard anything? Anything come in from my buddies?
Yes, I have a. This is after they successfully stole the ship. Like, was the last time you communicated with them?
Yeah.
Great. Yeah. So there's that little bit of communication. Happens. Basically, them saying that they'll wait for you with the engines running under the sea.
Yeah.
And that little bit of communication
Fabulous.
happens. Minerva's happy to do that.
Thank you. Did you happen to find out if maybe I could speak to Nyasa?
Yes, indeed. Nyasa's looking forward to it.
Excellent.
Gula got back to me. Yes.
Thank you so much.
You're very welcome indeed.
All right. I'll just be sitting over here waiting until she calls me in then.
Very good, very good. Shouldn't be too long. I'll let you know. Give me another perception check. You'd be so kind.
That's gonna be 10, baby. Don't laugh at me. I heard that.
Cool. A little goblin goes up as the next person to talk to Minerva, but you sort of like get consumed in the crowds and go back to this table. About 20 minutes later, Minerva comes to you. She is ready to see you now. Follow one of my droids. They will lead you there.
Thank you so much. And I just leave like a 5 gold tip.
Amazing. Thank you so much. No. Hey. Grease and palms.
I just really appreciate it, genuinely. And also grease in the palm.
Well, it never
Yeah.
hurts. It's never hurts. Minerva's gonna remember you very fondly now.
Ah, good.
Yeah, not just for personal reasons, just like, oh, right, okay, good. This is a person who's good. So, droid leads you through to these lovely sort of lavish multi-story high rooms attached to the hero's meet, and behind a door you see Nyasa stands to greet you. She has changed out of her Versace and is just in like truly in quite plain clothes, like wearing a pair of loose green trousers and a white blouse. Does not make her any less beautiful.
Yeah.
Suzie, it's been an age. How are you?
I'm hanging in there. Thanks. How
She
about
pulls you in, kiss on your cheeks.
I give her a kiss on the cheeks. There's no way you can help but blush if an Urzula kisses you on the cheeks.
Oh, I'm doing very well. Thank you so much. I got married since last time.
I heard. Congratulations.
Thank you so
Oh,
much.
lovely. Where was the honeymoon?
Oh, we went to Limerence. Where else?
Of course.
Gorgeous sunsets. I do recommend it at some points.
I'll have to properly check it out sometime. Thank
You really do have to. It's gorgeous overplay on the oceans, and we were on this beautiful boat this entire time.
Lovely.
So, what brings you to town? How can I help? What's going on with you?
Well, things have, what brought me to town? And Suzie starts to get a bit more serious. I'll be honest, there's a bit more going on now that I've got to town than when I came to it. When I came to town, it was to follow up on a little bit of investigating that I've been doing. I don't, yeah, I wouldn't have come to Tamagot to an official dock if I didn't need to, but
You have some trouble with the dock masters?
just in terms of haven't been paying for my ship, so they took it back.
Darling, the Arrow's a beautiful ship.
Thank you. I think so.
Oh, that is... What can I do?
Well, first of all, thank you. Just kind of starts blushing again. But she's holding stuff together, but it's just like automatic. Well, keeping a couple of secrets would be one.
Closed book. Between Gula and Olga, we get a lot of secrets here. I'm used to it.
I
used
bet.
to keeping the secrets by now. It's quite fun. It's quite fun to have all these secrets that you don't tell anybody.
I know.
And then you get this little squirrely feeling like, maybe I could tell someone, but you don't. But you absolutely don't.
I'm glad to hear that part. Thank you. Well, and I relay I don't include names of the people I met, and I don't include, like, their races or anything. I just sort of say, like, a ragtag crew. And I explain the story of the past few sessions, essentially.
So you just met a bunch of people who were totally willing to help you, sort of out of pocket, no guarantees.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I know.
I love
They don't
that
seem to
story.
realize how wild it is.
They sound like genuinely lovely people.
I think they are. It's been a while.
Oh, darling.
Oh, no, you, obviously, you.
No, but if you... have you been not being around good people?
I mean, I've been dropping in on some places where some good people are. I don't know if you know. Like I was on Drastia talking to the Circle of the Bog folk.
Oh, that's... Oh,
Oh,
great.
what's that?
I'm sure they're fine. That sounds lovely.
What's your reaction here? Is this just not being into bogs, or is there something you know that you're
It
not telling
smells
me?
not great, if I'm being entirely honest.
Is that all?
Yeah.
It's a check.
Go for it.
Natural one.
Incredible. Yeah, you think she's got like a real problem with the Drastian bog druids. That there's like maybe there's like an ex-boyfriend or
Yeah.
or yeah, so, or yeah,
Things are not good,
Things
like
are
between
not-
them and the assembly or something.
something
Something's up.
really nasty has happened in the background somewhere. Yeah.
All right. Well, anyway, it's not important, but the person I spoke to seemed very nice.
That's
very
great.
nice. But yeah, I haven't had like, a crew in a while, and a lot of the folks that I wind up hanging out with are like bounty hunters and stuff, and they're good folks in the Bounty Hunters Guild, but
But self-interest does seem to trump kindness.
Did you hear what went down today?
I did. I've heard. Yes. I like Benvolio. I like the Desert Wind. Dot Erdu is a darling.
Oh, I'll be honest, I don't know the crew as well as I might like. They seem like nice folks, but they're
Good people.
they're putting the wrong foot forward whenever they lead with Benvolio, and for me, at least, it usually ends with me shooting at him.
Oh, so... okay.
You gotta get your kick somehow. But
I did hear about that. Yeah, a real shame that they missed their contact. And all that risk for nothing.
what do you mean?
Oh, bless. There was a little, they were waiting to meet somebody, and that person came during my performance and had missed them on their way out.
Who was that person?
Well, I'm not entirely sure how much I should disclose. Little goblin woman, still here in the Heroes Meet, if you would like to talk to them, by the name of Tilly. Tilly.
Thank you.
Not at all.
Thank you. Yeah, maybe I'll see if she's still around after. What brought me here and what brought me to Drastia was that I am... You know any terraformers? Any experts in terraforming?
Terraforming?
Yeah.
Darling. Really, my brother Tamlin's more the person you want to talk to about that. In terms of knowing terraformers. He's the one who's always doing the assembly thing and talking to the Hiri people. Those are really the people that you would like to get in touch with. I don't think anybody's come through here. I don't know if there's anybody like that. What can I ask? What about? Like, for what reason?
Like moving tons, like literal tons of earth up and away from a place. Like enough earth to cover an ocean and moving it away from the ocean it's on top of. And if you think this sounds like a particular place, it doesn't necessarily. Don't rat me out, please.
I don't know that you're looking for a... Well, are you looking for a how, or are you looking for...
To get it done?
To get it done?
Either or.
I don't know where you might be talking about, personally. But if you're looking for a how, she kind of gestures around.
Is that something you guys can do?
I'm saying it's not unprecedented, darling. Look at the city of Piuwhgieawrg that you're standing in.
Yeah. No, that was another reason I came here, is that I was like, oh, they know a bit something about raising some earth up.
Probably again, Tamlin's the person to talk to.
Tam.
He's... Bless him. He's not terribly entertaining or the best of company a lot of the time. He's really stressed these days. He's very stressed. But he's into politics, and he's like the strongest one of us, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So...
Would you, First of all, thank you.
No.
Thank you.
Doesn't cost me a thing.
Would you be willing to just, put in a good word for me with him?
I could absolutely get in touch with him and ask him to take a meeting with you.
I'd love that. We could... I mean, I'm assuming he's on Rayara right now.
He's based on Rayara.
Yeah, no, and I can... How many gate jumps would it take to get to Rayara?
It's an excellent question.
I don't think very far. I'm pretty sure that
It's
Rayara and
pretty
Unan are close together.
close.
I think Rayara was technically in between. No, I'm getting
Unan.
Oh, yeah, no. Drastia to Unan, Unan to Rayara. So Rayara is even closer than Drastia was.
Yes. Yeah, Rayara is 2 jumps away.
2 jumps. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can make my way over to Rayara.
Where are you looking to why are you where? What? Is there an ocean under the ground somewhere that you're trying to get out?
I don't know if that's something I should tell you, because it may conflict with another thing I wanted to ask you about, as a result that I didn't know I wanted to ask you about until I came to Tomagot, and then I needed money.
Why don't we say this? I'm going to do an extra thing, and the sound of everything else in the infodome disappears, and I'm going to do an extra thing, and some other magical effect takes hold. We are as secure as I can make us. Dome of Silence. I'm a locked box. Ask what you need to ask.
Thank you. I want to give the water back to the people of Matazion.
Oh, is that what's going on that? I'm so sorry. I'm not politically up to date like my brother is.
Oh, I bet you he probably doesn't want to talk about Matazion very often, because no one really wants them to be part of the oligarchs.
Oh,
are real
this is the one with the
dickheads.
oligarchs
Yeah.
and the desert and the rebellion and all this.
Yeah.
Yes, I read an article in a paper one time.
Yeah.
Very bad. Yes.
Yeah, it's real shit. It's
That's
real
really
shit.
shitty, yes.
And I feel like if lots of people know that that's kind of what I'm looking to do, that might be viewed as political.
Oh,
And then if
so
I
you
wanted to
want-
do a bounty,
You don't want the same, literally the exact same thing that just happened to
Benvolio
Benvolio
to happen to me.
you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so sweet. You're looking to help things out for Benvolio.
It's not for Benvolio.
It's for
the-
Benvolio.
It's been a desire I've had long
I
before I
ship
met
you two so hard.
You're not the first person to say that in the last 24 hours. It's bizarre.
Just really far away. You hear this this character. Oh my god, save!
I just heard a psychic echo from somewhere on world. I'm not sure.
Weird. Weird. But yeah.
Aww.
If it'll endear you to helping my cause and put in a good word with your brother.
I'm a romantic darling. I'm going to hope for the best for you. You deserve it. You deserve it. You deserve to have a good group of people around you.
Thank you. I think I might.
Sounds that way. So, you don't want people to know that you're going to try to do some things on that Zion. You're looking to raise the earth. Darling! One sec. And a wrist pad appears on her wrist, and bounties come up. If you're looking for somebody with knowledge on specifically like Matazion stuff, there's a bounty for somebody named Kaiko Tachibara.
Tachibara.
Yes. 14,000 gold pieces. B-ranked bounty, wanted alive. A human who is a state researcher and has fled with sensitive knowledge. Sounds like they worked in the Oases. And was last known location was on Ipia.
Ipia?
Yeah.
What the fuck were they doing on Ipia?
I'm sure I have no idea. Throws away the thing.
All right. No, I got a wrist pad, but I'll lend it out to one of my new buddies.
Did you know you can change the language and the sound effects on those things?
Oh no.
It's fun.
I bet.
My nephew has such a love of language. I don't know if you've met, you know Carlisle.
Ever met Carlisle?
I think you must have met Carlisle. Maybe he didn't make that much of an impression.
Oh, is he the pensive one?
The pensive. What a polite way of putting it. Yes. Yes. His boy is a polyglot and is going around and loves all of these things.
I didn't know he had a
He's
kid.
got a kid.
Aww.
Yeah, sweet, sweet boy. Very interested in wine?
I understand that.
Well, there you go. Anyway, sorry, tangent.
All right.
The other question that you had.
Can you get me in touch with Kessig?
What, the Minotaur who runs the...
Yeah.
Of course I can, darling.
Oh, you're being so sweet to me. Is there anything I can do for you?
You know what you can do for me? You can be in touch more often.
Well, I got a wrist pad. Can I get your digits?
You absolutely can get my digits.
Thank you. I get. So my contact list at this point is Minerva
Yes.
and Niasa.
Absolutely. Call and call me when you get back, darling. I enjoy our visits.
Oh, me too. It's been so long. And
It's
you
been
were.
far too long.
I.
By the way, can I just say you are looking fantastic.
Just starts blushing again. Thank you.
You haven't aged a day. Your fashion sense is beautiful.
Why, thank you. Talking about fucking fashion.
Oh,
Look at you
that'll
this evening.
It was a whole promotion thing. Gula was like, we can make X amount of money. You make this deal with Michelangelo Versace, who is a darling.
Oh, I've always wondered.
She's so sweet. She's very defensive. It's quite a carnivorous culture that they have. People feel like they need to defend themselves all the time from emotional attack amongst those people.
Oh,
Very misunderstood.
yeah. I'm not surprised. So often, a lot of the sort of more unusual, different races are very misunderstood.
They're so talented and can achieve so much, but then they put this extra pressure on themselves to achieve all of that. And any sort of sign of caring about anything is seen as emotional weakness. We really bonded, Michelangelo and I. She's a sweetheart.
Oh, well, please tell her I said the dress was phenomenal.
Wasn't it just?
It was gorgeous. What bird was that made from? What kind of creature?
For the life of me, I couldn't get her to tell me.
Trade secret.
Trade secrets, and I was like, but it's me and I'm wearing it and it feels incredible to wear. Oh my gosh.
And the subtle homage to your mother with the pearl.
Oh, you understood that. Oh,
It was beautiful.
wasn't it just?
Hmm.
That amount of artistic integrity and inspiration. Gorgeous.
Gorgeous. Well, we will have to we'll have to go shopping together sometime.
We will have to
When
go
I have
shopping
money.
together one of these times. Yes, when you have money.
Have money. I just spent a lot of what was left of my money.
Oh, darling, you've got your crew. I'll hook you up with Keswick. Now, do you want to talk privately with him? Because these, takes one of these special sending stones out. It's like, these don't come cheap.
Okay.
So, I can't give you one. I'd love to.
Oh, no.
But
If I could, I
I
don't.
can give you the room for a few minutes.
Yeah, thank you. That's
worries
really
at all.
generous. Thank
Oh,
you.
It's not a problem. It's not a problem at all. You're a sweetheart. You're a sweetheart, and you deserve better than being out there on your own.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Gosh, I'm so glad you found someone.
He's amazing.
Next time I'm in town, I'd love to meet him.
You absolutely must. You absolutely must. Ah!
Okay, I'm gonna make this call.
Yes.
And then I have just one last thing to ask of you. But knowing Ursula, I have a feeling it won't be too difficult. I just need to get dropped off at Giart.
You need to get dropped off at Giard.
The junkyard and repurposing town.
I don't know it, but I'm sure Minerva does.
Yeah.
Listen, go to Minerva, tell her whatever the cost is on me. You'll get a transport to take you to Giard, and then come.
Here.
All right. It's nothing. It's nothing.
All right. Thank you. I'll give her a big hug.
Big hug. Yeah, just
And I when she leaves the room, I call Keswick.
Yes, you activate this sending stone. Works kind of like a normal sending stone, but it happens to work across space on different planets. Connects to and in fact, this one's special in itself as well. A little hologram appears of the upper torso of this like wide, mean-looking minotaur. It's got that like Star Wars quality when you can't really see color through it very well. It's just like a little bit patchy, but you get like an image and you know that that's basically what is displaying for him on his end as well. So, You're calling on Nyasa's stone, huh?
Yeah, Cassie, good to see ya. How you been?
Suzie Coyne. I'm the same. How are you doing?
I'm alright, thanks. I'm alright. Yeah. I was just
What can I do for you, Suzie?
I was thinking of getting back in the game for a little bit.
I'd be glad to hear it. You're good at this stuff.
Thank you, Cassie. You've been running a tight ship,
And I gotta keep it that way.
apparently.
Listen, I want you to understand I didn't want to do what I did to Benvolio. He and his crew have done a lot of good work here. But the rules gotta be followed. Can't be making exceptions, otherwise these lot start running amok. We don't want that.
You can understand him, though.
Not allowed to be political in this game. I'm wrangling a lot of freelancers here. Trying to put them to some good use.
Yeah. It was. I have a slight issue.
What's that?
The membership fee?
Well, you just wire that to me. That's no problem.
Alright. When can I do that at the end of the cycle?
Short on cash.
Real short. They took my ship away.
That's gonna be an impediment to taking jobs from me, you understand?
I got a ship. But they took my ship away.
You gonna get it back?
I've got a ship.
Okay. It's not unprecedented. You do one job free for me.
Alright. As long as I get to pick it.
Bounty of at least 1,000. Cover your debt.
Alright. Should I swing by the base?
You know where to find it.
Alright, I'll be there as soon as I can.
Look forward to it, Suzie.
Alright, good talking to you, Keswick.
Good to see you. Still the same.
Alright. Take it easy. I'll see you soon.
You too. Good luck.
Thanks. Alright.
Hangs up.
Excellent. I have done my shit for the evening.
Incredible. You head out of the room, say your goodbyes to Nyasa. Again, kiss, kiss. Make sure to call. Head downstairs. Minerva sets up an on-surface transport. It's not that far away for you to get to Giart.
I will do that in the morning.
In the morning. Set you up with a room free of charge.
Oh, bless.
And you see that goblin is still sitting in the heroes' meet as people are starting to clear out. It's like 11:30 at this point.
Alright, I am gonna go over. Excuse me. Is your name Tilly?
Hi. Yeah, I'm Tilly.
Hi, Tilly. My name's Suzie. Pleasure to meet you.
Hi.
Hi.
Shakes your hand.
Do you want a drink? Some snacks?
Sure.
Alright, I order for the table.
Oh, nice. Things come over. Thank you. This is nice of you. Drinks like 2 glasses of tap water and then like a full beer.
Are you alright there, Tilly?
Yeah, just been here for a while. I got lost trying to find this place, and
Yeah, it's easy to get lost.
in reality, for the players, it's the opposite. All roads lead to the Infodome. It's incredibly difficult to get lost in the city.
Literally the center.
Hi.
Hi. I think you might have been looking for a friend of mine, or a friend of mine was looking to meet with you.
Yes. I was meant to meet with
Benvolio?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Why? Are you asking?
Well, he's been held up.
Oh.
He's not able to make it.
Oh.
He had to leave.
Oh.
But I'd love to be able to pass on any information to him.
Are you
if I
gonna see
can.
him?
I hope so, yeah.
Okay. That would be great. I was under pretty specific instructions to meet him here and tell him directly, but if you're gonna meet him, it's better than what I can do, which is I don't know what he'd do from here. I'm kind of lost and stuck.
Where are you?
Uh, okay. If you see Benvolio, tell him that Helibor says to meet him in the unfettered land.
All right. You know Helibor?
Oh, yeah. Some stuff happened a few weeks ago, and it was crazy, but Helibor was good, and he told me that it was important for me to come here because everything was out of whack, and he was meant to be able to talk to Benvolio directly, but he couldn't, so we needed somebody to do it for him.
All right. All right, thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. No worries. I don't know where I'm supposed to go now.
You supposed to go back home?
Well, I don't really have a home anymore. I guess I could go back and try to find Helibor again. I lived sort of taken in by a... do you know the Moonlight Carnival?
Yeah, I've heard of it.
Yeah. But then something happened, and I don't really get it, but everybody sort of disappeared. Only a few of us were left, and I don't know where anybody else is.
Where was the carnival last?
Ipia.
Yeah. All right. Josh,
Yes.
Ilidia 6
Yes.
is around which planet?
It is one of the moons of Ilidia in the Ilidia system. It's one jump away. And it is
Oh, it's really close.
it's really close.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. How many jumps away is Ipia?
Ipia would be
2 or 3?
2 or 3.
Okay. Thank you.
There definitely would be a refuel space station along the way.
Yeah. All right. All right.
That's okay. I'll figure it out.
No. Why don't I know the people who own this place, or one of them. She's an old friend. The woman who performed this evening.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
She has a lot of brothers and sisters, and they're very good at getting people from place to place. And even if they can't get you from place to place with their magic, I think they'd be able to arrange something for you. At the very least,
Oh.
get you to be able to, like, stay here tonight, have a safe space.
Tilly hugs you.
Oh, I hugged her back.
Tilly comes over and gives you a hug, this young teenage goblin
Oh, I give her a hug back.
who's been dealing with her, like, foster family having disappeared, just gives you, like, an enormous hug. Thank you. I really appreciate that.
I'd offer to take you in myself, but I don't know that I'll be going to the safest of places.
Oh, that's kind of, no, that's enough. Like, you've already just give me a place for tonight's enough. That's really sweet. Thank you. I'll figure it out. If you Yeah. Thank you.
Did Hellebore tell you... Hellebore sending you, did that happen before or after things went wonky?
Oh, afterwards.
Alright. So you were still on Ippia afterwards.
Yeah.
But...
Most of the others disappeared somewhere. I don't know where.
Alright.
Something happened at the sort of like main circus performing tent, and everybody, Madame Arcadia disappeared. Ravenall, Chesh, all these others. Everybody.
Ravenall?
Yeah, yeah. Beautiful fairy.
Dark
Person.
Wings?
Yeah.
Well, you've had some shit luck, but you have had a little bit of good luck. I happen to have seen Ravenall just today.
What?
Yeah,
Where?
here.
Oh, is she okay?
Yeah. A little pale, but
Oh, okay. That's great news. That's great.
do you want me to bring you to Ravenall?
If you could, that would be amazing.
I think, do I... I'm gonna go to Minerva and ask if in the morning I can bring Tilly with me and then arrange for transport back
For Tilly?
Tilly, and if Ravenall wants to join Tilly, Ravenall.
Yes, that doesn't add any extra effort on their part, so yeah.
Okay.
100%.
Amazing. Thank you. Yeah, and yeah, that is what I'm going to do. I'm also going to relay all of this to Nyasa,
Yeah.
because I know that Nyasa will be able to take care of Tilly, or
Yep.
contact someone who can, at the very least, can give Tilly a safe place to stay. There's just a teenager walking around on a random planet.
Yep.
Tilly, how did you get here?
So there are ships that come and go from Ippia, and Hellebore sort of like got this like yellow viscous ochre, I think he called it, and then he put it on my eyes and said some words in a language I didn't understand, and then he threw me as hard as he could, and I sort of, when I landed, I was inside a crate in one of the ships along with a bunch of just like unshucked corn. And so I had corn that I could eat raw on the way as sort of like an unwilling stowaway to Tomagot. And then when they arrived and they opened the box, I kind of like jumped out and ran and tried to meet Benvolio here. And that's... Would you like an unshucked corn?
I mean, would I be taking this away from you, or would it do you a favor to take it off you?
Either way, I have more.
I'll take one. Thank
Take
you.
an unshucked corn, yeah.
All right. Thank you so much, Tilly. Yeah, I'll ask that if Tilly's room tonight can be next to mine.
Yeah, 100%.
And then I will ask Tilly to just kind of explain to me the type of, like, what kind of thing she witnessed. And we don't necessarily have to do that on stream, because I have
Fantastic.
seen Ravenall's description, and these guys have been so patient.
It's been good. The Lord.
Elora.
The corn. The corn.
So, Tilly describes to you a version of those events. where the entire circus sort of like started to disappear in crazy magic. You guys sleep that night, get up early in the morning, get that transport to Giart, arrive around.
I do one thing before I go.
Tell me.
I drop into Bedang.
Yes, the tech folk shop.
Commodity?
Well, hello, darling. Welcome
Hi.
back.
I'm just dropping in because I said something yesterday that is no longer true. I said I'd be around for a while longer. I found a way off world for a bit.
Darling, good for you.
Thank you.
Good for you.
But I just wanted to say thank you so much, and if I'm ever in town again, I will be stopping by once I have a bit more money.
Wonderful.
And I'll put out a good word about your shop. I'm
You're just-
gonna do some bounty hunter gigs, so I'll drop a line to Kessig and stuff.
That's so nice of you. Thank you so much, darling.
Thank you. You're a real lifesaver.
Me? There's no me in my shop here?
Little old you in your shop here.
Shucks.
Alright, have a lovely day, darling.
You as well.
Thank you.
Bam.
Fucking go.
You fucking go. And you arrive 7 a.m. These guys are talking about possible strategies to beat up Sam. As you and Tilly arrive out of this sort of like six-wheeled transport vehicle, there's a droid driver.
Thank
Who
you.
brought you. You are welcome. I will wait here to see if Tilly and or this Ravenall person wish to come back.
It's a very old person.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
Make sure you get out and stretch your legs, appendages.
I cannot stretch. There are no muscles. Get back in the car.
Keep your joints going and stuff. Alright, howdy. I make my way to the group
And you see your ship.
ship. All glistening and wet.
And it feels so good.
Steaming in the morning sun as it starts to get hot this morning. There she is. Your people get pulled through. You see a team of Warforged, these guys that you know, starting the refueling process.
Hey! How are you guys doing?
Hello, it is Suzie, and these guys are you what you're talking to. The Warforged just wave, and then they keep going their thing. Go for it.
Oh, I was talking to the Warforged. I didn't
Okay.
know these guys were out of the ship.
I didn't know either.
Yeah.
I thought when
No.
you said, no, it's fine, we're in the ship, it's okay.
Uh,
I didn't understand the geography of the situation.
Should we just do the equivalent of like waving, but it's the person behind you?
Behind
For
you.
Zoom? Amazing. Yes, you wave to the Warforged.
Is Wheat one of the ones out here?
No, you don't see Wheat out
Alright.
here. But you see some of the various other ones. You see 112, who's a sociable person, and 61.
Lovely. Thank you.
Yeah.
Alright. Well, I check in how the refueling's going.
They literally just began. It's an hour per unit to refuel, so they're going to be at least 2 hours. That they say that basically they've been paid for 2 hours of for 2 units.
Alrighty.
Already.
Alrighty. I'll take a look and see how things are going and if we need to top that up. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And 61 goes, "Oh, so this is the Arrow." This is your ship, the Arrow.
This is my ship. The Arrow. This is my new ship. This is my new old ship.
Understood.
Can I please? I don't want to metagame, So it's fine if you want to reject it, but I want to know, like, if Porgy inside heard voices and then came outside and spotted, and then intervenes the conversation. I don't want a magic game.
Inside. This is totally fair. Perception checks to see
Okay.
if you hear what's going on outside the ship.
Oh no.
17.
That's an 11.
I'm going to is 17 enough for just voices? Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's indistinguishable to Dendro from the like sounds of the refueling anyway. And Piuwhgieawrg do not hear. So you guys are having your own conversation, and there's just like talking by the Warforged outside anyway.
Okay.
I'm gonna go up and knock on the ship. A door at the cargo bay.
Who is it?
It's Suzie.
What's the password?
Let me on my fucking ship, please.
Yep.
That is acceptable.
Press the button.
Thank you.
Suzie! We did it! We didn't die!
We did it. We did it.
Damn.
We said we would do it, and we did it.
You're all alive too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the part we really didn't expect at all.
Well, you have to tell me how you did it. Damn.
With power, luck,
Yeah.
and imagination. No.
Well, let's get some coffee or tea or something to sit down, and I'll hear all about it, and we can catch up.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I'm Porgy. That's Ross, and we're called the Fletcher.
Gotcha. Thank you. All right. I have a small goblin. This is Tilly.
I'm Tilly. Hello.
Is she
Hi.
joining the team?
We're gonna try and get her. It might be a little dangerous for her with us, but she knows Ravenall.
Oh, is she here?
You guys go and look for Ravenall on the ship. Ravenall. Ravenall's not on the ship.
Damn it!
Oh, we looked everywhere.
Well, she does that from time to time. Don't worry, she'll probably be back at some point.
Okay, I'm gonna wait. If she'll be
Yeah,
back.
let's see if she
Totally.
comes back.
Look. For your time, I'm going to make you a little special one.
Stand back. Tilly, stand back.
Tilly fully hides behind Suzie.
Yeah, I like cover her.
I make a Kringle, which is
Kringle?
the powers of Google will. That's
Like Chris?
no. There we go, Kringle cake. Come on, Ecosia. It's
Planting trees for you, though.
it's like an open donut, a big open donut with filling.
Ooh.
I'll
How
put.
do you
I'll
open a donut?
buy. Oh, it's from Wisconsin, apparently.
Oh.
I'll put an image in the chat.
Have a quick peek. Oh
my
I
God.
see.
I
Oh,
want one.
That looks totally delicious.
It does.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that
I
looks
thought-
sugary.
like for everyone at home, I didn't really just want like 20 variations of a muffin, so I tried to put in. So I tried to put in like a diverse round of pastries, but it means from time to time I don't entirely know exactly what things are. But yeah, that is a Kringle.
That looks good.
Incredible. There's this like tense moment where nobody knows what the hell is gonna happen until he looks genuinely afraid, and then manifesting itself with a rainbow puff of magic is this glorious Kringle. So he goes,
That's
Oh
all
my
for you,
gosh.
darling.
that looks amazing. That's for me?
Of course it's for you.
Takes it gingerly. Looks all the way up at you. Thank you so much. buff goat person.
My name is Piuwhgieawrg.
Piuwhgieawrg, thank you so much.
I just realized you're doing this because of your hooves.
Because I'm a goat.
It's so cute.
Trying to get into
I don't know why I
character.
said goat person. We do have Cagrians that I've met. Ipia. Those are Cagrians there, so. Oh my god, that's so good.
Special recipe.
Took that first bite and then goes, oh, thank you so much.
Exactly how it's meant to be eaten.
Oh, thank you, that's really good.
Hey, Suzie, I've got your here's your this thing, your wristwatch.
Thank you.
Are you going to change it back to common?
No, what?
You get it back. An incredible sequence of characters which are moderately pictographic and some of which look like that, and a lot of the characters look like they have hind legs of some description.
Is this Bullywug?
Yeah, it came like that, I swear.
No, it did not. I was the one who purchased it. Do you mind changing it back for me? Because I can recognize it, but I can't read it, and so I don't know how to go into the settings to change the language. You'd think to go into the settings to change the language, they'd show you how to do that in all the languages. But they just do it in the language it's set to. If I'm changing the language, I don't know the language it is.
Yep. Okay. Holding back laughter. Okay, yep. No, yep, I'll change that.
Thank you. Thank you. I make my way into the living room.
You make your way through the cargo bay into the living space and see the floor absolutely coated in wood chips. Your table and chairs are nowhere to be seen.
Did you get in a fight?
Hey, I don't know what happened here.
And in Porky's hands becomes a blueberry pie. We're going to need to have a little chat.
All right, I'll just eat this blueberry pie on the floor then. Thank you.
Here's your data pad back. There you go. It's
Thank you.
all normal now.
Now,
Is it?
how
As the DM, I have to ask.
I've changed the language, Josh.
What to,
what?
Dendro?
Oh no, I've changed it to common.
Okay.
That's the only thing I've changed though.
Amazing.
All right, beautiful.
Incredible.
Thank you.
So,
Sorry.
two things.
All right.
One, I may have had a dream that gave me, well, maybe not. It may have been maybe the powers was inside me all along. Maybe the real thunder powers were the friends we made along the way. Anyway, I woke up in the morning and I went to boil the kettle and things happened. Good news, if we get in a fight, people can be electrocuted now. How's the blueberry pie?
How do we know this information?
So, Dendro, in the morning, you had a long rest over the course of the night, and woke up to the loudest sound you've ever heard in your existence as a thunderclap happened within a tin can of the ship.
Oh, yeah.
As the Thunderwave spell was cast and just obliterated the table and chairs.
This is repressed.
Repressed. Thunderwave
Yes.
has nothing to do with lightning damage. It is a thunder-based attack. But the kettle is fine.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, your kettle is fine. We can make tea.
All right.
Do we have any ramen?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah. I got corn too.
What?
Corn? Great!
Yeah. I pull out a cob of corn.
Where'd you get one of
Barbecue
those?
time!
Billy opens a bag and it's full of like 8 more cobs of corn.
This is just fascinating to me.
You know, if you leave it in like a lake, or I mean, you I guess you can soak it in any kind of water, but if you leave them in the like, you don't chuck them, leave them in the water for like hours, and then barbecue them as they are.
She
Chuck them
knows.
just before you eat them.
Trade secret.
Yeah, like almost char them inside the husk.
That was the only job I would let John do.
John was only good at charring.
I bet you he knew the entire time we had powers, but he just let Porky just believe we're just really good bakers.
Anybody on the outside looking in would be like, no, that's not normal.
Be like, oh,
That's
we just
magic.
work really hard.
Work really hard.
Piuwhgieawrg just fundamentally doesn't actually know how baking works. There's never been a single oven in the Earthswept bakery. It all just gets baked in their hands.
No, what we do is here's how it works. I'm giving you all my trade secrets, Suzie. What you do is you heat up the oven. It gets really hot, like burning.
Where's the oven?
What?
See, you say you heat up the oven, but you're just doing this. You're just doing this with your hands.
Well,
this is not
no,
heating up the oven.
This is just 1 by 1 capacity. If we're making a huge batch, then we do all the necessary, baking steps, and then we open the door and we put it in, and then hey presto, 50 cakes are in the oven.
50, like cakes? Or like small...
Well, depending. We do like 5 different batches. Like, so we will have like 1 batch of muffins, 1 batch of croissants, 1 batch of pies, 1 batch of something else, and then 1 being a Cornish pasties. And then, hey presto, we open up the oven about 20 minutes later. They're beautiful. We just worked really hard. I'm really proud of all the hard work we did.
Well done. No, you made a
Thanks.
name for your bakery.
We did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Don't worry about the table and chairs. I understand you're figuring out your powers. And also, you got me my ship, which is the nicest thing anyone could ever do for me.
It was easy. Like really easy. Like
really stupidly easy.
like anyone watching us would have thought, how are they getting away with this? Like it was that easy.
All right. Well,
We just got really lucky that night.
For everybody at home, I want you to know the plans I had for this session were in place before they said that.
What? I'm confused. I don't know what
I'm not
sentence.
being vindictive with the rest of this session.
Oh no. Oh no.
Dear.
Uh,
Oh,
Yeah, no, it
now
was
I've understood the sentence. Oh no! Sometimes Auntie Carrie needs a moment.
All good.
Oh no! Oh no! Anyway,
So
you know what we could do? We could go back to the junkyard. We could go find a table, and we can just patch it up, no problem.
yes.
You could also meet the motorbike twins.
so this fuel.
And you patch Suzie up on everything.
Montage!
Montage!
Cool. Okay.
Now, say, Suzie. I was thinking, and then I gave it back to you. This Sam fella. I thought that you could take a look on the like the bounty hunters thingy. See maybe if he's worth our while.
Yes. Oh, gosh. I just remembered something I should have done last night that I even thought during the conversation I should have done, and I didn't. But that's okay, because we've got the data, so I can still just look it up on... I should have asked Nyasa about the fucking cradle. I did not. I fully did
You
not.
did not do that. No.
I fully did not.
You were so enamored by a performance. It's just a thing that can happen.
When there's a person who's that gobsmackingly beautiful
Yeah.
in front of you talking to you, it's sometimes you forget.
Really,
some of
if I saw Niasa, I would have just, who's John? Like, who's that?
Would she be on your list?
Yes,
Yes.
on everybody's list.
Piuwhgieawrg bisexual queen.
Yes.
Hell yes. Hell yes.
Probably more pan. Anyway, is Sam on the bounty list?
I'm gonna pull up on my data pad on the wrist pad.
Hell yeah.
Is Sam on the bounty list?
Just have a look at that homepage first. Who's that handsome fella there?
I don't know, Dendro. Who is that handsome fellow there?
You couldn't.
Look at that
Dendro,
jawline.
you are a beautiful
pick him out from
bullywug.
anywhere.
Dendro, you are a beautiful bullywug, and you don't need anybody else's validation to tell you any differently.
Tilly goes like sharp intake of breath.
Oh, I think you
Huh.
Piuwhgieawrg,
So- You check on that, Suzie. I will be outside.
If I just cause Dendro to have a crisis.
Tilly comes over to you. York. Your friend is not a bullywug. They're a Gatchin, and it's a slightly sore point because Gatchin and bullywug don't tend to get along with each other.
No, I would have known that,
would you have known that? You didn't know. You called the bullywugs bullies.
Bullies.
Very in keeping with your knowledge of frog people.
Poggy's really nice and socially intelligent. Carrie's a fucking idiot, I promise.
Can I request a roll? Can I request that you call for a roll from Piuwhgieawrg?
We will determine whether that is what happened or whether you knew and called it correctly. I will ask for a pure charisma check, and it's going to be very easy. You want an 11 through 20 on a pure charisma check.
Charisma.
So you had 3 or 4 to this.
Do I have proficiency in just straight charisma?
No. Don't
Oh,
add
it's
your-
just in those other skills. Right, okay. It's an 18.
Plus whatever you add to charisma. So very, very good indeed.
Oh,
Yes.
I am such a beautiful Gaijin. Thank you for saying that.
You are. You're a hot frog.
I was wondering why there was a really awkward pause. Like, did I say something wrong?
For those at home, Gatchin are a homebrew race. Just a reminder, they are an offshoot race of bullywugs who made their way from the moon of Bullywoo to the planet of Drastia and became their own race there.
Oh, fucking hell. Right.
It's Sam in the bounty hunter.
Sam
Wait.
is not. There is no bounty for Sam.
All right.
Oh, we should be. Sounds like a right nasty piece of work.
From also what you have learned, for context of Susie's knowledge, this guy wanted to be a driver on Matazion. The drivers work for, are under Telera the Just, who's one of the 3 oligarchs. They run the military and police on that planet. So do with that information what you will. The name of the provider of the bounties on Kaiko Tachibara, Benvolio, Kithwen, and another is Telera the Just.
Yeah, I figured I was gonna ask who was this. Okay. Babe, can you send me the link to the bounty hunter?
Yes.
Oh, thank
I'm
you.
sending this to everybody in the chat. There's a link to the bounties on the Bounty Hunters Guild that I have filled out. There are more than this, in theory.
Ooh.
Ooh.
It's an interesting bounty.
What
Benvolio
made you
kept-
make that noise?
What?
Suzie,
Find
you
you-
didn't tell me that your lover is a baddie.
He's not my lover. First of all, why do people keep thinking this? He flirts with me, and I shoot at him when he crosses the line a bit.
Oh, well, it's hate. It's like enemies to lovers. It's just so beautiful. We just love that.
You hear a psychic echo. Yes.
Oh, I understand the appeal. But I'm a little distracted right now.
And he's wanted dead. We're going to have to find him,
Oh.
and then I'll be the pastor at your wedding.
Are you a pastor?
No, I'm just joking. Just joking. Although I could fill out a form if you wanted me to.
Well, I'm not looking to get married to Benvolio, but thank you very much. Have you guys looked at these by any chance?
No.
Do you want to take a look at the S-ranked bounty? I just want you to read locations.
Can I have an out of character question?
Of course.
Wait, hang on. It's kind of spoilers for our one shot for Rayara.
Oh, yes, the Fires of Briara. Go ahead.
The pyromancer is on there.
That was a... Forgive that. That was me figuring out formatting. The Pyromancer was taken out a couple of months ago.
I was like, was Rayara a prequel? No, was Rayara a sequel? Or was it Rayara a film
Rayara.
and then with the prequel?
No.
Fires of Briara happened before this campaign by a few months.
Okay.
But that was... If you're curious, that was the... Forgive.
So wait, does Becca Sonora get some of that bounty money?
You guys were offered alternative pay to the Bounty Hunters Guild
Oh
stuff
yes, we
by
did.
Tamlin.
We did.
Yes. So
Sorry. If you want to know what
Okay.
happened, you need to check out the
you
Hidden
need to
Realms
go.
YouTube
It's,
channel.
it was a one shot that had 4 sessions.
And it's called a 3-shot
And it's
in the
called a
title.
3-shot in the title.
Oh, Becca, I miss you. I love you lots.
We'll get back to Becca, I'm sure.
Anyway, back to Goat Sorcerer. Who should we be looking for?
Scare Bill.
I did notice that. That one made me laugh. You,
Easy money.
Piuwhgieawrg, in your, when John was taken from you, the person you
Yes.
saw, they said find Brina?
Yes.
Take a look
Yeah.
at Find an Edifetra Titan.
It's a place.
Oh.
It's the name of a Titan. And
See,
they don't know
that
where it
would-
is.
Why is
that
that a
makes
name?
that makes a lot more sense than just going up to people. Are you called Brina? Do you know anything about the cradle?
I mean, we're gonna look that up too.
So now we just gotta ask the tall people? I don't know what a Titan is.
We need to talk to
I
a
do.
Titan.
No, the Titans are hopefully all dead.
No.
These
No.
ones. And the
No,
Edifetra.
they wouldn't do me dirty like that. To set me a task that is impossible to achieve.
Well, I gotta check in with the DM on something, and then I will tell you about
Okay.
stuff. Did I know there was an Edifetra named Brina?
Give me a history check.
$17.
You remember now, in this moment, seeing the Titan's name, you go, oh yeah. A long time ago, you you were told of the name of this particular Titan, the reason it didn't come into your mind when you heard the story was because Brina never participated in the war. In fact, it's totally unknown where Brina is. You heard the names of all of the Titans, all 10 of them.
But Brina was never a player.
Brina was never a player, so it just didn't, like, nobody talked about her for the
Yeah.
duration of the war since.
Yeah. Someone who never participated in a war is not going to be in the history books on the war.
I assume you tell us this?
Yeah, so what I didn't think of it at the time because the other Titans are the ones you think of, like... What did you guys get taught in your various schools or growing up about the Gods' War?
Oh,
I need to roll a history
Give
check.
me history rolls, both of you.
sure.
That is a 15 in total.
Pretty
9.
good. 9. Dendro, secluded monastery.
I went to martial school.
You went to
Like,
martial
I learned how to
school?
do sick flips.
They weren't really concerned with the events of 700 years ago. It didn't really matter. Piuwhgieawrg, you do have a little bit of knowledge about this. Unan was it was and remains a central hub in the Ignaculus galaxy. The Gods' War was 700 years ago, marked the end of an era where the Asmaran gods differentiated from any other gods that people worshipped by the fact that they were physical and real and walked around and talked to people, as opposed to you having to pray or dream in order to contact them. They went to war with dragons and shapeshifters, and there was an incredible war that took 50 years. The king of the Asmarans created 10 Edifitra Titans. Incredibly powerful artificial life forms with a great deal of magic and technology at their disposal, who helped them fight in that war. The Edifitra are the creators of the Warforged. As a species, the Warforged were made during the Gods' War to be soldiers, essentially. And do you know that there were 10? The only one whose name that you would know off the top of your head would be the Edifitra Kron, who was the local defender of Unan, who was seen as a good influence on the world, basically. And was destroyed during the God War, but whose body has never been recovered.
So are the Warforged trying to find the people who created them?
I don't know.
The provider for this is the Dahiri Empire.
Or the Inaran Assembly with a different reward.
Oh.
So, this is what these guys are reading. The Bounty Hunters Guild has 5 tiered ranks of bounties depending on the risk and reward. So, there are D-ranked bounties with a minimal risk, typical reward between 50 and 200 gold. Then there are C-ranked bounties with a moderate risk to the people involved in taking them, 500 to 2,000 gold, typical reward. B-ranked bounties of 4,000 to 20,000 gold with a major risk. A-ranked bounties, which is one on Benvolio, which is a massive risk, which is the judgment of the guild on the risk, and the reward between 50 and 200k gold. And then there are S-ranked bounties with rewards between 1 million and 1 billion gold. And the risk is calculated as incalculable risk involved in completing one of these. The one they're looking at is find an Edifitra Titan, and then the locations of the various Titans, or the last known locations, are listed. The reward from the Dahiri Empire is 100 million gold, plus lordly titles and an estate on Corustia, which is one of the Dahiri-owned planets. And an alternative, which is provided by the Inoran Assembly, who are the political opposition to the Dahiri Empire, shall we say, on the galactic level, offering only 15 million gold, but in the addition of 3 legendary magic items.
Cheapskates, honestly.
Which is, yeah. You might think cheapskates.
I was joking.
No, you genuinely might think, like, comparatively, it's like 100 million and an estate versus 15 million and some items. Like,
The
So
Dahiri Empire, these are artifacts, creations of their gods. They're gods that many of them, not all, obviously, within an entire empire, you're going to have differing points of view, but that they believe are going to come back.
those guys, the guy who reattached Dendro's arm, the Verdant Crusade, that is a faction in the Dahiri Empire. These are the religious guys who believe in the Ismarans, who believe in the Edifitra.
Oh, so they're nice people.
Ones you met?
Yeah.
why? But why would they want to find them?
Oh, the creation of star
It was a
ships is-
Sorry, that was a rhetorical question.
Sorry, I had a long night.
That's okay. We all have slip-ups, don't we?
What are you talking about?
Why ever? What do you mean?
Also, Suzie, you got a long rest and leveled up to level 4.
Yes.
There you go. No worries.
I went. I rolled a 1 on my hit dice, but I got to re-roll it, so I rolled a 2 on my hit dice plus 1, so that's 3, putting me at 30 hit points.
Hey.
And a max
Suzie
You
to
got
the
a
front
feat.
of the combat.
Yeah, absolutely. Oop! Don't fall backwards on my chair.
So you have located your first clue, Piuwhgieawrg, as to those cryptic words. Find the cradle, find Brina. But you'll note that on this bounty to find the Titans, where others can locate basically a world where you could search, the locations of Brina and Oir, 2 of the Edifitra Titans, totally unknown.
Yeah, I know, that's fucking annoying. It's not helpful! God damn it!
Piuwhgieawrg, you said that this might be what the Warforged here are going to look for. If they're going to... I mean, would I know where Kron is said to have fell, roughly? Would it have been the same places?
Same kind of area. You'd
Yeah.
be on the continent of Ionvos, but neither of the gods who fell there, nor the Edifitra Titan Kron, have been recovered.
Thank you.
No worries at all.
I think maybe... Maybe we ought to talk to the Warforged here, the folks here. Because it's either a hell of a coincidence or they got some sort of intel on this. Whether it's they're looking to fulfill this bounty, whether it's they're going to find Daddy, whether it's...
I
mean-
thought these guys were here because they were just stuck. That's what you said, right?
Oh no, they originally were here, but Sam then came in and then trapped them here. They actually want to go elsewhere.
Ah.
And they've been here a while. So the reason why they would up and leave, I think we should talk to them about it. Maybe they got some intel. Maybe they know something about Brina.
I'm not gonna lie, Porgy's like a little bit like put out. And like you can see his ears are like flattening. Not flattening, they're like dropping. He just has a bit of a little side little hunch over his shoulders.
What's wrong?
If these Warforged are so capable of doing these amazing things, then why did they make me do it? You know, why did they have to send my John and my mother and Papa? Why me? You know?
You don't know if it was all of these folks. It sounds like there's one out there doing wild stuff at least, but what did he look like he was the same make as these folks?
Yeah.
I feel like I did a roll for this. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Looked like the same make as these guys.
Did he have a number on him?
No.
Plain. No identifying marks.
Do I know if the numbers on these folks if that's something they added?
You do know that that's something they added
Okay.
as a distinguishing feature. You know that in Warforged culture that started to emerge during and after the war, basically they were made uniform, but they are fully sentient, and so they have figured out various ways of just discerning themselves as individuals. These guys were a unit of 200. They wanted to stay together. They felt bonded to one another. They painted numbers on their chests, and then some of the Warforged like replaced limbs or put on clothes or, you know, do modifications on themselves. But baseline, all the Warforged of a particular Titan's creation look the same.
Well, then let's just go ask them.
Yeah, we can ask him if one of their crew's gone missing, or if not, they would have some insight into.
Carrie, come here for a second. Should we call a bio break?
Error 404. File not found. Carrie's brain processing power. I just let in the dog. I went to get my tea and then realized, oh, my wine glass is where the tea should be. I don't know what to do.
Let's call a bio break. We'll take 15, come back at 10 past. And you guys can go and talk to Warforged and do whatever you're going to do in the town of Giard. Alrighty, 15. And we are back! Welcome back, everybody, to the Arrow Starship.
Yeah.
You guys were in the process of deciding to go to talk to the Warforged because you had this, this first clue which seemed to have disheartened Piuwhgieawrg a little bit. The idea that there's this massive titan out there somewhere, nobody knows where.
Yeah.
But you gotta start somewhere. So, you guys leaving the ship?
Yeah, why
Yes.
not?
You guys go back outside. The rest stay on the ship. Tilly stays on the ship with Atlas and Ro. And you head out. Do you want to go further into town to talk to Dew again? Do you want to talk to just the guys who are servicing the ship right now? What do you want to do?
Suzie, you seem to know some of the people here. Do you have a preferred person that, you know, won't find us suspicious?
Yeah. I'm gonna just look at the others and say, hey, y'all.
Hello.
I'm just wondering if you know where Wheat is.
Wheat is with Sam.
Oh, no.
I see.
In, like, Wheat's buddies with Sam? Like, they're working? Or, like, no?
There's no response.
Oh, no! Well, now we really have to do this now.
Oh, I thought we had to do this anyway because they were fueling the ship for us if we...
Well, we could have decided to not do it and they only fuel us the 2 units that we'd already paid for.
Yeah, but that's a full tank's better, surely.
Well, yes, but, I didn't
Plus-
want to, railroad over everybody's consent,
I want to go beat a dude up.
You
Well,
will.
yeah, you're a monk, of course you're going to do that.
Can I find who was you spoke to? Do is who you first spoke to?
Yes.
All right. Do y'all know where Do is?
You can go back to the kiosk where you met Dew.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, you guys go. There's the sort of like business front of the junkyard and repurposing town. This business that these guys came here and set up.
Reminder, we have fake names.
Right. You're Porgy.
Yes.
There's Ross.
He's
Yeah,
on the
fake-
ship.
Yeah. Do you have a fake name?
Me?
Yeah.
Dendro.
Dendro?
That's your real name.
Yeah, I'm not hiding from anybody.
I mean, they know me here, so I can't go by a fake name with them.
Oh. Well, the ship is called the Fletcher.
The Fletcher. Thank you. I like it.
Thanks.
Alright, I'm gonna see. Do I see Do?
You do. Dew is behind the desk and stands as they see you and you approach.
Howdy.
Suzie,
Howdy, Do.
it is very good to see you.
You as well. You as well.
Hello, Porgy. Hello,
Hi, I'm Dendro.
Dendro. Hello, I am Dew. Are these two members of your crew?
They are, yeah.
I did not know this. If I had known, I could have been more upfront.
Well, why don't we talk now?
Okay.
Yeah. What's going on here?
We wish to go to Ion Voss. However, some time ago, a dragonborn named Sam and 2 bodyguards, the Estetorio brothers, arrived, wishing to learn our martial techniques from us. We'd willing to teach. However, when we decided to go, Sam employed an AI inhibitor. Sam employed leverage to keep us here and from attacking him.
Well, that's no good.
Can you tell me why you wanted to head to Iron Balls?
Roll persuasion.
Come on, baby. Ah! So natural 2 for 6.
Can I assist?
You can give a help action for sure.
Thank you.
That's advantage.
Oh, that's much better. Thank you. Thank you, Piuwhgieawrg. I say, but I'm not speaking aloud, so they didn't hear your real name. Persuasion.
Piuwhgieawrg just pats your back, being like, I know what you're saying. Deep down.
19.
We are vulnerable. Our net is vulnerable. And you would know that what they're referring to is a little bit of lore about Warforged.
The lore!
Little bit of lore. The lore! The corn! Warforged cannot have children or replicate themselves. They do not have the techniques to duplicate their consciousnesses. However, if one of them does die, their consciousness can be stored on what they call their net. Each unit has a net. And if they build another body for them, they can inhabit that body and avoid permanently dying. our net is vulnerable. The Prophet Lortles can... The Prophet Lortles can reinforce our net, make it invulnerable to attack from new technologies. We wish to go to Ion Boss.
Who's the Prophet Lordles?
Another one of us, very individual, religious. Do not hold this against them. They wish to help.
Are they capable of identifying chaos factors?
Chaos factors. An element of Fey races. Searching. War records from Ipia, fairy folk. Chaos factor. Only through demonstration of magic can this be identified. The Prophet Lortles may have abilities we do not know of.
That doesn't make sense. I didn't use magic before. This is a joke.
I just wonder if... Well, when was the last time you heard from the Prophet Lordles? And fuck you, Josh, for using that.
Is there a joke I'm not getting?
There is. There's an in-joke about Lordles.
We'll explain later.
Okay.
I told you I would. I gave you fair warning.
I forgot!
We received a transmission 6 days ago. Have not received a transmission since.
What did it say?
Says to those who wish for protection, reinforcement, to come to a location on the west coast of Ion Boss.
Where on the west coast of Ion Boss?
Unclear. We will receive further instruction, we assume.
Alright. You guys know that you might be walking into danger?
We have not forgotten our training, if that is your worry.
Okay.
Oh, you like a little bit of this, yeah? Huh? A little bit of.
Let's not
There's a
agitate.
pile of scrap by the kiosks. Like, would you like a demonstration of our technique?
On that, not me.
Turns to the thing. There's like a whirring of something, and then just a the scrap heap like caves and buckles and explodes backwards.
Oh. Whoa.
I think they are perfectly capable.
Still got it.
This is the technique which Sam wishes to learn.
Oh.
Can you write that down for me?
Do you know how has he properly learned this? Because
He continues his training.
And we gotta stop him before he finishes his training.
It would
Time
be
is
quite
of the
bad.
essence.
time is of the essence. Whereabouts
of the
can we
essence.
find this Sam?
I thought you knew how to get us brought to him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I got really caught up in the action. I was like, just take me to him. I'm like, oh wait, you are not the person we need to talk to. Right, so, yes, we need to talk to the twins. And anything else we need to do?
Well, is there anything else you want to tell us before we go, as it relates to Sam? Will you, or... I'd like to speak to you after we deal with Sam, if that's possible. To speak to the lot of you.
We shall be here.
Excellent. As long as I just wanted to make sure you weren't going to leave right away, just so we could check in on some things.
We would need to honor our agreement and refuel your ship.
Thank you. I might be asking you for a few more bells and whistles as well. That's all right.
For you,
So-
Suzie,
Sorry.
this is possible.
Thank you.
So,
2 things. 1. Chaos factor. You said it has to be an act of magic. Now, can this happen with someone who has never used magic before this?
chaos factor, innate magic could be dormant, untapped, unrealized potential. It's possible.
Okay. That makes more sense, because, long story short, something happened, and now... Actually,
You-
no, I will...
You
God,
are
no.
a wild magic sorcerer.
What's that?
Sorcerer, one with innate magic. Wild magic, reference to magic produced by chaos factor. Wild, chaotic.
Hey,
Like-
I may be a goat, but I'm not wild!
Like sudden swords or loud noises.
These are excellent examples of a chaotic variable factor in magic. Wild referring to the magic itself, not to the sorcerer.
Oh. That is really good information to know. Thank you. You read about sorcerers and you always, see them as this great, epic, like... And I'm like, me... And that's me? Like, that's crazy.
Many sorcerers are very powerful, very dangerous.
And I'm not dangerous. I'm just boggy,
Yeah, that's right.
Look, that was an accident. And also, you were the one who made me jump. Let's not
Okay.
forget that.
Yeah, okay. Okay.
Turns to you very sincerely, Dendro. I would not recommend making a wild magic sorcerer jump.
No. I'm still learning what makes things jump. Apparently, approaching them as they're having a mental breakdown in the street, scary.
Secondly, Suzie. I imagine maybe... Actually, no, I probably would ask this after we've left.
Okay.
I'll just ask one more thing before we go, and it's... Do you happen to have any, health potions laying around here anywhere?
Those we do have are hoarded by Sam.
Alright, good to know. I'll keep an eye out when I meet with him.
God, Sam
Thank you.
this, Sam that. Can he get a day off, please? He seems to be doing all the grind around here.
He has taken over the town.
Don't worry, I was being sarcastic. I'm very sorry.
My
It's-
apologies. My ability to read this is sometimes somewhat limited.
You know what? I know someone who goes through that exactly. It's very confusing.
It is sometimes very confusing.
Anyway.
Shall we make our way over?
So you start to walk, and then Piuwhgieawrg.
So, Suzie, what did that... You seem to make friends with lots of people. Why were you friends with the Warforged? Or Dew, to be specific?
Well, the one I know best is Wheat. I met Wheat when we were both having a bit of a tough time. The Warforged... They were a race made with a purpose. And sometimes you need a little bit of help to realize you don't have to pursue that purpose. It's because you were made to do something. Doesn't mean you necessarily want to do it or have to do it, or don't have capabilities beyond that. The Warforged, a lot of Warforged in various places have been trying to kind of find themselves, figure out an identity. Others are maybe more interested in following in the footsteps of their parents, so to speak. And their parent, like, the had a feature. There's all different, like, there were different kinds. Some of them were fine. Some of them were real fucking shit. But they're still finding themselves, and I like to think that I helped Wheat, and then sort of from that, the rest of their unit realized that they didn't have to do what they were sort of programmed to do.
Wow.
I think I was also the first person to give Wheat a hug. And they,
Now that is a crime in itself.
yeah.
Not that you would have, not that,
No.
not that it was you, but
That
the
it
fact
didn't
that they'd
happen
never been
before.
hugged. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
It's around this time of walking that you hear the vroom vroom of a motorcycle and
Flashbacks!
around.
Flashbacks.
I just physically move Piuwhgieawrg back.
Rick, that's wow. And come around the corner, the two halflings on the motorcycle. Vroom.
Hey, Rick.
Hey, Pick, I think someone's trying to call your name. You should stop. And the motorcycle pulls up, and the two halflings get off. Crammer, the high-pitched one, and then Pick, sup, guys?
Well, hello, Pick and Crammer. You don't know these people, you know me, Piuwhgieawrg. This is Suzie, and this is Dendro.
Sweet. Nice to see y'all.
I wanted to ask that little favour of yours to take us to Sam.
You got the goods?
God, I'm just rolling 40s today. Right, okay.
Full 40s.
Homemade Oreos.
Huh.
I've made them before. They're basically like dark chocolate slash like dark cookies, and then there's like a vanilla cream like in the middle.
Yeah.
Like it's basically a cookie sandwich.
I'm gonna have to try one of these.
Of course.
Yeah, I think we can get you to see the boss.
yeah. Enjoy those.
Oh, will. Crumbs spill down. Sounds good. You
If
wanna
we
come
ever
see
meet
the
in real
boss?
life, I'll definitely make those Oreos for you, because honestly, that was the nicest thing I ever baked. The only bake I ever did that Carrie didn't fuck up on. Anyway.
That's
Don't know whether I should
Nice.
explain to Porgy that this is probably like the equivalent. You've just given this man his last meal.
Whoa!
we don't know if we have.
Dendro!
Like
We
this
just
is
have
a
to
this is a
disable the AI thing.
well, yes, I'm sure this will go like
That's
just
exactly
like
how
that.
it'll go.
Yeah,
It'll be very smooth
I'm
and
sure that's
democratic.
exactly how this will go.
These guys lead you through the scrapyard and through all these like enormous piles of scrap. And Suzie, you see parts of gutted ships. You see a couple broken tables and various things, like a couch. Like there are all these like furnitures and like things that would have been in a starship that have been scrapped. There's a full just dinghy over there with holes in it. Just like, and some stuff that you were like why the fuck, like like an anchor. There's a full anchor in this scrapyard, and you're like, okay.
Susie, we need that. We need that for reasons. Oh, we need this one
It's
as well.
it's for an actual boat ship for water. They just got really confused with the landing. No. The boat got towed. The spaceship just hovered over, just hooked it and off it
Tractor
went.
beam just.
Maybe they yodered the boat onto the land.
No, you
To hide
and then
it.
it had to pay a parking fine.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. I'm so glad we came up with a backstory for an anchor.
And you guys see a sort of like a clearing opening. There is a full, just like brick and mortar house that is here. Doesn't look ruined. Looks like a house with a chimney stack that's belching smoke. And outside, in front of like a piece of metal that's leaned up against some scrap, is this black dragonborn. Not as big as some of the other dragonborn, like the bodyguards that you saw earlier in the heroes' meet. But just punching a piece of metal. You see that they are wearing this sort of like moonstone gi that's like very regal and shining, but that the top has actually like come up and been wrapped around his waist, so he's like this bare-chested black dragonborn man, and there's a sort of like a belt tied around the gi, and you see sort of like a black rod, looks like a technological rod with some like lights on it, hanging from that belt. Stops for a second. Hello, what is this pick? Who are these people? Boss, you're gonna want to check this out. This person makes cookie sandwiches. They wanted to talk to, and thought, cookie sandwiches, boss. Give me one of these cookie sandwiches.
Oh, yes, of course. I
Come
made
over.
plenty.
You're a little bit taller than...
Am I?
Takes a cookie sandwich. This is acceptable. Thank you.
I know what you really mean in your heart, but I understand.
100% adores these. Just the best he's at things. Yeah. So, who are you and what do you want?
Right, okay, so game plan, huddle time.
Huddle time.
Why are you huddling?
No, this is before that, as
Okay,
we're
sure.
talking. This is the rewind time.
Hey, look at
Right.
that anchor. Right, what's the plan?
How do you think that got there?
Wow.
Wow, it must have been a boat that was yoked onto the land.
We thought that too.
Right. So what is the plan?
Well, like, do we ask him to stop doing it first and then throw hands?
But
Or
then
do
he
we...
knows what we're planning on doing.
Well, why don't we ask him what brought him here?
Well, he's obviously he's learning how to punch things from far away.
Well, he doesn't know that we know.
Why?
No, so we have the element of surprise.
I mean, Dendro, do you want to challenge him?
Yeah, but, like,
You distract him with a fight. I seduce him with cookies, and then Suzie, you find the AI inhibitor and smash it.
It's there on his belt.
This is before that. We haven't seen that.
Oh, I mean, yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
And back in the present moment.
Okay, so now I just like slightly nudge Dendro, being like, let's
Hey,
kill two birds with one stone, right?
What?
I can do the fancy moves too. You want a little sparring session?
He's a
Interesting.
newbie. He's looking to train with some really great,
Teach
strong
me the
people.
ways.
And we heard that you are the strongest in all of the city.
And then I want to try and do a backflip.
Give me an acrobatics or athletics. I will allow either.
I will do an acrobatics because my athletics is -2.
Well, that's bad.
It's 17 plus 6. Is that
Oh.
23?
23. You do it instantly, do a backflip. Give me 1 sec. I gotta get the right die for this guy. You are very agile.
Yeah.
Tries to do a backflip, sort of lands on his hands and sort of like teeters like,
You got it, buddy.
brings
Keep going.
himself down.
It's
Brings himself
okay.
down. I can do that.
Dendro.
I could do that too.
No, we know you're tired. You've just done training, but you know, Dendro could
I'm
really
not
use the
tired. I'm
experience.
good to go. Here. Your name is Dendro.
Yeah.
I have been trying to learn a technique from these machines, and I have not been having luck against this inanimate metal, but a sparring match.
Oh.
Chance to throw fists against a living, organic opponent for a change. Goodness, this could be it. I will
Dendro.
accept a duel.
Okay, a
Sparring
duel,
match.
but first to knock the other out. Yeah.
Of course.
Okay. I mean, we all want to train another day, don't we?
I see no reason why not.
Yeah.
Dendro, may I
punch
suggest
him.
first person to put on the floor?
First person to fall unconscious.
Fuck's sake, Dendro!
Okay, I'm going to give you all a link to Owlbear.
Yay.
Copy
I
and
don't know why that's in my head, but
paste. And I am going to put you guys on the board. Dendro, you are up here with Sam. Piuwhgieawrg is going to be back here along with Suzie. And
I also whispered to Dendro, look, this isn't about your pride. Just make sure you smash the AI inhibitor.
I'm just gonna knock him out, and then we can do that.
No, priorities, Dendro!
Yeah. Yeah, because if he's on the floor, he'll know what we're doing.
Holy fucking Christ, we are not going to do this, are we?
oh,
Suzie, how good are you with a gun?
Pretty good if my rolls aren't shit.
What's a roll?
You
You're a
bake
baker.
'em.
You should know that.
Oh, well, I know what that is. I was just asking about the context of the roll.
hey, what are you guys talking about?
Oh, about my baking technique.
Oh, amazing! I've never seen anybody bake with just their hands before.
I know, it's just this inane trade secret that we're just able to...
Kieran, roll initiative.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, just whilst this fight is happening, we all just get totally distracted. We're just talking about baking.
Oh, that 14, Josh.
14 is not going to
Fine.
get you to go first.
False sense of security.
Josh, can I just move us so that I am here and I'm kind of, if I need to, step in between Piuwhgieawrg?
And the motorcycle?
Yeah, that I
Absolutely.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes.
If I cast Gust, would that be noticeable? Could I cast Gust in a way to be like, just knock his hand like slightly out of the way? Like in
Okay.
a constrained way.
The answer to that question is going to be, can everybody actually roll initiative?
Yeah.
So
And
bad.
actually, Josh, I lied. I'm over here so that I'm within 15 feet of someone.
Beautiful. I
Initiative.
am looking up the spell gust to be able to answer your question. But
16.
16.
That's gonna be 11.
11 from Suzie.
I rolled a 6.
Oh, I only have one. Oh, wait, no.
Plus your dexterity?
I rolled a 6.
Oh, sorry, yes. So 11 makes
You
more
forgot
sense.
about the shit roll to the equation.
Sorry, yes. Verbal and somatic components to doing gust, so it will be a stealth or sleight of hand to try to do it without Pick and Crammer or Sam noticing, basically.
Oh, no. I have 0 on dexterity. Oh, fuck. Okay. At least it's not minus.
So, we begin with Sam, and Sam's gonna make some attacks. So, here's the deal. Sam is trying to achieve this thing. For every attack that hits, Sam will have a chance of mastering this technique.
Good
Oh,
on Sam.
no.
Good on Sam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
20.
So, Sam adds a +2 to hit. Does a 16 hit Dendro?
Does not.
Sam attacks 5 times. And it's this very weird thing, especially for Suzie. This person attacks as fast as the fastest person you've ever seen. But it's like a child. So Sam gears up and then wildly swings his fists as hard and fast as he can in the direction of Dendro. Dendro, you're able to avoid these sort of like very quick but very sort of erratic attacks. Some of them don't even get close to hitting your actual body.
No. If you see a sneaking suspicion, like this is what Wheat has taught him. It's just taught him to fight like Fry from Futurama when he thinks he's a robot. Just
Good reference. It is your turn. Initiative.
Oh, okie. Let's go for an attack. Okay, that was a 2, so that one doesn't hit.
That one's not going to hit.
But I will do my. I will spend a key point, Josh, for a flurry of blows. For 2 extra attacks.
I'm so jealous. I love being a monk.
Great. There's a 5 and a 14. So the 14 will be a dirty 20.
Dirty 20 is going to do it.
For a D4. Oh, I missed my tray. It is for 2 points for 6 points of damage and 1 poison.
Takes all of it. Yeah, dodges a couple of your attacks, then gets hit. Oh, good hit.
I will return. I'll return the compliment when I can.
Yes.
I have a question. Because I know Black Dragonborn, they're acid-based attacks. I don't like to metagame. So I would like to know if Porky would know, and if I would have any opportunity to inform anyone else otherwise.
I will say that yes, you know this.
Okay, cool.
There's no reason why not.
I also don't want to retcon. So, may I have permission to, like, say acid-based?
What, to Dendro?
Yes.
Sure, yeah.
What do you say?
Black Dragonborn are acid-based.
Poison.
Well, yes, but I just thought, be to your benefit. Just take some help when you get it, please.
Okay.
I know I stabbed you once, but please give me some credit here.
Yeah, fine. Look, I'm in the middle of something right here, okay? It's like my manager in a wrestling ring.
If there was a point I'll call at the top of the round basically just let me know, Piuwhgieawrg or Suzie, if you want to interfere or do anything as this is going on.
Okay.
Okay.
Where are we in the
Well,
initiative?
I kind of skipped Piuwhgieawrg. So I'll check in now. Piuwhgieawrg, if there's anything you'd like to do.
I just want to check. Well, actually, Josh, do you know how long does shield last for?
1 round.
Oh, that doesn't really apply to me.
And it is only yourself.
It is only myself.
Mhm.
Oh, no, I won't do anything yet.
Okay. After Dendro, that is Suzie.
All right. I have seen Dendro try to stun people, right? Have I seen that?
No.
No. Okay. Fuck. Did I see? Have I seen you try and use your key points for anything?
This is the first time.
Right, because you got your arm eaten.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're comparing this to all the other monks that you've met who are further along
All
in
the
their
other
training.
Well, we had talked about you getting him on the ground, so I'm gonna look over at Sam. I'm just gonna catch his eye. And when I do, he's just gonna think he sees a strange milky quality in her right eye. And she's just... something seems off about her for a moment. And it's just enough to unsettle him. So he has, yeah, give him... It's got disadvantage. There's no save.
There's no save?
What
What the shit?
What is this?
My shit!
Oh my god.
What have you
Okay.
created, Josh?
Okay.
Your ship? What does that mean?
My shit.
No, her shit.
I'm just can be freaky.
Sam catches that and then just carries on the fight with Dendro.
Hey, come on, buddy. Focus here. I'm sure the robot taught you that.
He's got disadvantage on the next save he has to make. So if you have anything that...
Mechanically speaking. Ooh, baby.
No.
Another 4 misses and then a
Give it to me.
critical success.
Whatcha?
A critical hit.
Oh, he takes the poison damage.
He takes 1 point of poison damage from coming into contact with you, and you take 4 points of bludgeoning damage as
Owie.
this weak ass bitch hits you in the face. As hard as he absolutely can.
Oh, buddy. Oh,
sweetie.
oh.
Now,
He does have a chance of mastering
has
the
he
technique.
has a chance of mastering the technique.
He
On
does.
a 16 through 20, he gets the technique. Did not succeed. Next time,
Oh,
Oh,
be-
God, I
buddy.
hate
it
this.
will be easier.
Buddy.
Going through the initiative, Piuwhgieawrg, anything you'd like to do?
Is it a bonus action to convert sorcerer points into a spell slot?
It is.
It's a bonus action. Cool. I'd like to do that, please. I'll convert my 2 sorcerer points to add an additional level 1 slot.
There you go, Font of Magic King. So now you have 2 first level spell slots.
That's mainly just to save my ass for later. And you know what? Ooh. No, I'll only try and do it subtly for now. I want to use Gust to try and like knock Sam off his feet. Oh, actually, can I change my
Okay.
mind?
Of course.
Can I change my mind?
Yeah.
Would I be able to firstly see how well attached the AI inhibitor is to his belt?
Yeah, give me a perception check.
Okay. Where's my... There it is.
Are you gonna pants him?
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Yeah, he's got a belt securely around his waist, and it is sort of clipped onto his belt with sort of like a carabiner type thing.
Okay, so I couldn't use Gust to try and like loosen it and...
It's doubtful that Gust would do the trick. You'd have to, like, take it off of his belt.
Dang, okay. Okay, then yeah, I will use Gust to try and destabilize Sam.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead and give me a sleight of hand check if you're so kind.
No, I don't want to. I'm scared. That's a Oh, wait, yeah, it's a 15.
Okay.
Please, I swear to God.
Gotta check something super quick.
Oh no, I don't like that.
You just gotta check something. It's all good. Okay. The effect of Gust. You trying to push him 5 feet?
Yeah, I'm trying to destabilize him, like knock him off his feet, so...
Great. He's gonna do a strength saving throw with disadvantage because of the unnerved thing from Suzie.
Teamwork can make a dream work.
So that's an 11. So an 11. What's your spell save DC?
It is 13.
13. Sam, there's a gust of wind and Sam's legs go like this and he falls like onto his chest. So like punches Dendro as hard as he can in the face and then just whoop.
Oh, unlucky.
Peck and Kramer are like, boss? What the? Are you okay, boss? And he's like,
Dendro!
I'm fine.
Dendro! Are you
Before
all
he-
right?
Gets up, I am gonna hit him.
You're going to
No!
hit him?
We said till unconsciousness, and I'm knocking him out.
Take your turn.
You haven't.
Is he
That's Piuwhgieawrg's bonus
prone?
action and action. He is on the ground. You have advantage on a
Nice.
prone creature.
It'll be, what's that, 13 plus 6, 19
19's gonna hit.
for a 6 points.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then I'll do the unarmed strike bonus action.
Gotcha.
For that's 19, so 25.
It's gonna hit.
What's that? 4, so 8. 9 more points.
Oh my god.
My gosh.
I've just got to sleep. Come on, Sammy. Go to sleep.
Hot frog.
Hot
Has he
frog.
gone to sleep yet?
No. He has not.
I'll spend my last key point for a
You-
flurry of blows.
You do not have extra attack. You've used your
Oh no, I
bonus
used my
action.
bonus. Yeah, I apologize.
Yes. No, all
Dendro!
good.
What?
Dendro!
What?
Ding!
That thing? What? He's awake.
You guys see Dendro land some like actually like pretty ballin' blows. The kind of thing where like Suzie, this is impressive. Piuwhgieawrg, you're like, that's probably harder than I was hit with a motorcycle. Like
I can almost like feel it again. Like,
yeah, it's
ow.
like boom, boom. It sounds like into the ground. Pit goes, oh, boss! Guy? Like, the fuck? As you, beat into Sam! Suzie, that is your go.
It is. Can. I'm going to. I don't know how much I can do right now.
You can pass.
Looking over at Pick and Crammer. No, I'm gonna look around. Do I see wheat anywhere?
Your perception check, please.
Then I can.
You do not see wheat.
Okay.
You see wheat nowhere. Pick and Crammer don't interfere yet. Because they did not see the casting of Gust. Or notice the casting of Gust. Sam is gonna take his turn. Gets up. Pulls up to feet. Is gonna take
Come on,
attacks.
Dick. You got this. You got this.
I don't need a pep talk.
All right. You ain't got this. You ain't got this.
That is going to be one more hit. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
He takes an additional point of bludgeoning, poison damage rather,
Poison. Yes, it does.
on a 12 through 20. Learns the technique. Does not learn the technique.
What the fuck? He's
Dude.
really
Poor
incompetent.
This
dude,
guy
he's just not gonna learn.
Was not good enough to be in the driver's. You see, in terms of raw speed, and like he gets up when he's down, like he is up instantly. It's this it's this strange thing where it's like, and he can take a hit, but he's just not very accurate or strong.
Poor dude.
Yeah,
Bless him.
he just and I can't get his head around this technique.
Well, what a shame.
Piuwhgieawrg, that's you.
Sorry, Pick. Can I just borrow a knife 1 second?
No!
Wait, was that a yes or a no?
No!
Do it. Oh, it's just I really need it.
No!
I said, here's the thing. I got a cake back at the ship, and I forgot to bring a knife with me, and I thought I could borrow a knife, cut a slice.
Of the cake on your ship?
Yeah.
After this, we'll escort you to your ship and you can use my knife to cut the cake.
Okay.
I'm trying to do this voice in a register that the mic will pick up. Sorry,
Okay.
I'm not Pick. I'm Crammer. My brother is Pick.
Fucking
Yeah, dude.
I don't mind this being in character.
No rewinds on this one?
No.
I feel like I've redeemed my rewind.
You only get one. What a session.
You get one rewind a session. Amazing.
Is there anything else I want to do?
Dendro seems to be holding his own just fine.
Yeah.
I know, but he's
It's an
just
interesting
so focused
twist.
on beating up. He's just so focused on beating up Sam that I just
It was the
wanted to-
plan. It's my party. That's all I was told to do.
You don't need to
Beat
knock
this
him out.
guy.
You need to destroy the AI.
Yeah, that comes second.
Why can't we just do that first?
Because this is a monk duel.
Fuck's sake. This
There's
is all
honor
just
involved.
happening telekinetically. Not that's like you know
Just
what I mean.
intense eye.
Yeah, intense eye contact.
It's like
How
what
I Met
my
Your
sister
Mother
would
slang.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like when my sister would try and like correct me if I've said something. Be
Sim stares.
like,
Dendro, that's your turn.
Yo, let's hit him.
Yep.
15. So add 6.
21's gonna do it.
21.
That'll do. Is that a 1? So 6 points.
Okay.
You ready to give up yet, Sam? Go to sleep.
Got a black eye. No! Not done!
Not done. Okay, buddy. All right, here we go.
You
Do
know,
it.
Suzie, you've really got to admire his determination.
Yeah.
Yeah. Last flurry of blows. My last key point.
Ah,
Ooh, that was a 7. So that'll be what, 13?
13 does not do it.
No. And then a 14. So another dirty 20.
That's gonna hit. Go ahead, roll damage.
4, 6 for 7 points.
So far, you have dealt 37 points of damage
That's tough.
to Sam. Sam is still standing.
What the fuck?
This guy it's this really bizarre balance of like no offensive capability and yet just the resilience of this person, and you see this like determination in his eyes. It's like, and like warrior to warrior. Dendro, you
Yo.
are worthy. I will tell you, I'm not the strongest fighter, but I must succeed. I will never give up. Never.
Yeah, no, I get that, buddy. You could do that on that piece of metal, but right now, just go to sleep.
I have to learn this. I have to become stronger. I can't afford to fail.
All right, come on then.
Anything you gonna do?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I'm just kind of gonna. I'm gonna. Is there a way for me to like lean on the motorbike right here?
Yes.
Cool. I'm gonna do that.
Mhm.
And I'm gonna lean back to Pick and Crammer and say, "Why can't he afford to fail?"
So, like, Sam wants to be a driver, right? And he's not considered by, like, the strongest drivers to be adequately strong to join their ranks. But if he learns this technique and he's able to increase his power, then they'll let him in.
But he seems more desperate than just wanting a job.
Well,
Is it just
he's simply Sam. He's a direct descendant of Just Joe.
Oh, just Joe is one of the
Just Joe was one of the 3 revolutionaries who defeated the fractal AI on Matazion a few hundred years back and became the first oligarchs of the country, taking over the Edfitra's operation and taking control of the planet.
Oh.
Elora the Just is the latest descendant of Just Joe, the Dragonborn, to become the leader of the Drivers, who are the military and police faction of Metazion. Sam is also a descendant of Just Joe. And you understand, Suzie Piuwhgieawrg, that the humiliation, the social implications, this person would be an outcast, would be you can't have a descendant of just Joe who's this weak.
Suzie just lets out a low whistle.
Yeah. Okay. Sam's turn. That's a 17 and a dirty 20.
Yeah, they hit.
Those hit, but the other 3 do not. You take 2 instances of 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Mm-hmm.
Sam takes 2 points of poison damage.
And goes to sleep.
8 through 20. Does not make it.
What?
Oh, Josh, you're killing me now.
4 through 20.
Roll a 1.
That's a 2.
Oh,
This
Sam.
is insane.
Sam, I'm so sorry. It's not meant to be, Sam.
Dendro, how are you looking in terms of health?
You see Dendro. Dendro, how would you describe yourself, like physically? Like, how are you looking after these blows?
So he's doing a little hop and a skip, keeping his light on his feet, but he's starting to slow down. His legs, he's taking longer to hop in place. And you can hear him sort of like shallow breathing. It's not too good, but he's still in there.
I told you, I can't afford to lose. Okay. Piuwhgieawrg. Dendro ain't looking great.
Yeah. I cast. Wait, do I have to? Does it have to be one person if I cast friends?
Yes, one target.
Okay. I'll cast friends on Sam.
Okay. Okay. That happens. You have you for the next minute. You have advantage on charisma-based checks against Sam.
Sam, you don't have anything to prove.
I do need. Forgive me. I do need a sleight of hand because this is a somatic material cast.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah.
That's a 19, baby.
Nice.
Okay. You're just like, if I just cast down here, it's no problem. Yes, you cast friends on Sam.
Sam, sweetie, you don't have anything to prove. I know it seems like in your circles the world is on your shoulders. I know what it's like. I'm a baker. I'm a baker at the Elspeth Bakery in Islanden. I came from a generation and generation and generation of bakers before me. I felt the pressure to be good. And how did it feel to be a failure?
I'm not a failure.
You are not a failure. You're doing so well. You don't have to push so hard in order to be happy with yourself.
I gotta do this. If I'm not a driver, then I got nothing.
You have Pick and Crammer. You have your life ahead of you. I can see you. You're young, you're smart. You are so determined. You can do great things. You don't have to, like a bull in a china shop, just... You have the opportunity to be kind. You don't have to sacrifice anything just to achieve happiness.
Go ahead and give me a flat persuasion. You did this with advantage, and because of the arguments you chose, you would have done this with disadvantage. So, this is flat persuasion.
Oh no! Can I Tides of Chaos?
You do not have that feature available to you.
But
any
can I
longer.
Wild Surge to do it again?
You need to recharge it by casting a first level spell
Dang
and
it.
then forcing a wild magic surge. So not in this instant, no.
So is it just a flat roll and no advantage?
That's correct. Or disadvantage. What did you get?
I got a 4.
Okay. And you add your persuasion.
Oh, wait. Oh, wait. Wait, hang on. No. No, I'm not kidding, guys. Oh, I don't know whether I've gaslit myself. I thought No, I definitely rolled a 4. I must have
Okay.
accidentally turned it. That's a 5. That's a 9.
Okay. 9. You know, there could be something in having more my own confidence in myself. I'm sorry you felt that struggle being a baker as well, man. However, I could just keep punching until I get this. I feel like I'm really close. I feel like I'm really close, and you look like you're on your last legs.
I don't want to help with my roll.
Little
If you
occupied.
have disadvantage, advantage cancel each other out. You can't get multiple instances.
No,
So,
I know.
that is going to be Dendro's turn.
Right, how is Sam looking? Is he looking like me? Close to me?
Sam?
Yeah.
The frustrating thing about Sam is that you know that you've done like a shit ton of damage. He still looks like you could take a few hits.
Okay. Okay. Right, let's start running rings around him. I'm going to take the dodge action.
Incredible.
That's something I've never done before.
That's amazing. All of his attacks will have disadvantage against you, and with his
That's right.
minuscule
Chance.
it's unlikely he'll hit you. Okay.
And then
Fantastic.
there's no bonus actions from me.
Yeah. Yep. Suzie?
I am going to I'm going to ready an action.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Spicy. What action would you like to ready?
I would like to ready a pistol shot, please.
And what is the trigger for that?
If it looks as if Sam hits Dendro,
Yes.
I will
Shoot him?
yes. Yes. Sorry, there was another thing I could do that I'm going
You okay?
I don't. One sec.
Okay, you think
Yes,
about what
that's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
If Sam hits Dendro, you shoot it.
Yeah.
Great.
But non-lethal, I aim for like a leg or something.
Gotcha. Good to call that out ahead of time. Here we go. 5 attacks at disadvantage.
Come on.
Miss. 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 Miss.
Just doing little laps around the guy.
You start doing laps around Sam, and Sam's like, stay still, man.
Go to sleep. Go to sleep.
Stay still. Okay. Piuwhgieawrg.
Dendro, do you have weapons on you?
No, I'm a monk.
Well,
Some
yeah,
monks
I'm
do.
I got two. Lefty and righty.
Okay, well then I say, well, at least make it a fair fight then and drop the weapon on your belt.
Not a weapon, and I'm using my fists.
Bruh. Josh, come on!
It's not a weapon, and he's using his fists.
Well, I'm very sorry. I didn't know that. It looks like a truncheon from where I'm looking.
You guys can join the fight, and this could be an all-out brawl if you would like to.
No, I want to keep up the
we don't
facade.
want the facade.
In that case, Dendro, it's your turn.
Yeah, right. So big dice. Let's hit him.
Okay.
It's an 8 plus 6.
14 does
14?
not do it.
No. Bonus. It's a 4.
Oh my god.
Ooh.
2 whips.
2 whips. Suzie. Same thing?
I am actually just... I am gonna yell out. Time out!
What?
Time out. Okay, you're gonna yell out time out.
Yeah.
You may roll persuasion or intimidation.
They have disadvantage.
Not anymore.
What? It's not been. It's already been a minute.
It's your charisma-based checks against one target.
16.
16. I'm gonna do a quick something or other. Your voice echoes with authority, and Sam stops a sec. Dendro, does it look like you're going to stop?
I'll like sort of slow down. See what's. I'm not going to throw any punches immediately.
Yeah.
No.
The two of you slow down. Sam looks at you. What?
Right.
Why are we stopping? He said till knockout.
You said till knockout?
Yeah, I said that. That's what we. I mean, yeah, that's what we said. I
No,
think
I'm
I can
calling-
take him, Suzie.
What'd you say?
I think I can take him.
I shoot Sam.
Okay, roll an attack if you be so kind.
Oh!
No!
Oh, at least you didn't roll a 1. You'd have shot me.
11 doesn't hit!
I can't help, can I?
Well, you can on your turn. Like, you take a shot at Sam. Anything else for your turn?
As a bonus action, I take out my... I use...
I am acting incredibly surprised at this. I'm like, whoa, oh my god, I had no
Suzie!
idea.
I take out my matching blade and I whip around and I hold it up to pick. And I say,
Whoa.
don't you fucking move. This is the hold up.
A hold up?
Oh no,
What?
I like pick better.
Huh?
I say, look, we're all just gonna take it nice and easy here.
Oh.
Alright? That was a warning shot.
Okay. Kramer, you wanna... At the end of your turn?
Yep.
Okay. Next in the initiative, it's going to be Pick and Kramer. Kramer is going to make 2... No, just 1. It's going to make 1 dagger attack on you.
Yep.
A dirty 20 to hit you.
That'll hit.
Okay. 5 points of piercing damage as Kramer jumps on you, stabs you in the arm, and goes, "Get off my brother!" Kramer's gonna take his turn. Gonna try to duck this knife. And I'm gonna say he's gonna try to make a dex save. If not, he'll take damage. That's a natural 1. So would you like to roll the damage of your
Just rots himself.
knife?
Yeah. It was. So I kind of was holding it up to him.
Yeah.
As the thing, the feature of my as a bonus action. I can. So would I roll?
So roll, that damage.
That damage.
Yeah.
Okay. 8 points of slashing damage.
Whoa! Oh!
I said don't move.
He's just shimming himself into the knife. Like,
Yeah.
He's going to take a stab at you.
Yeah.
14?
No.
So much blood coming out of his neck. Absolutely disgusting. Kramer yells to the boss, "Sam! They're in bad faith! Get him!" And then it is up to Sam's turn. Sam is going to take 5 attacks on Dendro.
let's get it.
19 to hit.
No, it hits me, Josh.
It's the 1 hit. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
Disengage, Dendro.
Takes 1 point of poison. How are you looking for health? No way. No
Yeah.
way.
That's why I'm stepping in.
And anything but a nat 1.
Which you're gonna roll.
I rolled it last time. We're almost... That's a 6.
No, he masters it.
Sam.
What happened?
Hits you in the face.
Hey, buddy,
I understand now.
you figured it out.
It's not about hitting over and over again. It's about hitting just once. And he takes an altogether new stance.
Oh no.
Piuwhgieawrg, that is
the end of
your turn. There is Pick and Kramer are fighting Suzie right now. Gunshots have gone off. Sam's taking a new stance. What does Piuwhgieawrg do?
What an excellent question. I will. Let me go to Albert. 35. Oh, so if I'm correct on Albert, what is that bit of scrap next to Sam?
That's a bit of scrap with a piece of metal against it that he was using to practice on.
How tall is it?
Yeah, 6 feet tall.
Okay, I am going. I'm gonna first, because I'm assuming he's all like focused. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm gonna sneak up behind him. I'm gonna use my dagger to cut his belt and take it off him.
Pick gets an attack of opportunity as you go.
Fuck. I was about to say fine, and then I realized 10 hit points.
Yeah. Gets a +3 to this, 11 to hit.
Oh fuck, that's Meets it, beats it.
You could shield. You have shield, right?
Fuck! Yes, I do.
Want a shield?
Yes, please.
You throw up an arcane bubble around yourself, and this time it prevents the dagger from touching you. Your AC goes to would be 15.
16.
Would be 15 because
It
you're
was +5.
yeah, but your AC is 10. Remember?
Oh yeah, because I calculated wrong.
Yeah, yep. All good.
Oh no! So then, yeah, no. Hang on.
Yeah.
Ignore me.
So
I'm very
15
confused.
does not hit you.
Yeah.
At this time, would you like to try to get your Tides of Chaos back? Because you cast a first level spell or higher. Sorry, before I ask that, can you roll a d20?
Yes.
1 through 4 is what we're at now.
Oh, it's a 7.
2, 3, 4, 5 for next time. Now, would you like to get your Tides of Chaos back?
No, not yet. I'm trying to be stealthy.
Okay, so you go over and you're going to try to use your dagger to get that off his belt.
Yes.
Go ahead and make an attack with your dagger.
Okay. Right. Oh, crap. Maybe I should have done it. That's an 8.
8. Yeah, you try to go for the belt. Sam doesn't even look, just like sways out of the way of the dagger.
Does he know I'm behind him?
No.
Oh, thank God. Okay. I can't do anything else, can I?
Nope.
Cool, fine. That's my turn.
Okie day. That is going to be Dendro's turn.
Okay, right. Now it's no holds barred. I'm going to spit a little poison dart at this man.
Ah!
Try and poison him.
Is
Don't
that a
hit
saving
me.
throw?
Um,
Or is that an attack?
I gotta hit first. I gotta make a ranged attack with
Go
my
for it.
dex mod. So completely missed. 16, so 22.
22 is going to hit.
Yeah. Now, so he takes a d4 poison damage.
Okay.
He takes 2 poison damage.
Okay.
And now it's a constitution saving throw, which would be, I don't have any con, so 10.
Your save DC is, I believe, 8 plus
my
wisdom.
constitution. Oh. Because I've got
I
it
think
in
wisdom's me.
poison dart weapon. I've got it written as constitution.
Oh, I see, because it's a racial feat. That's right.
Yeah.
So 10
Yeah.
makes it, I'm afraid.
Oh,
It's
he's
a
not
12.
poisoned.
It's not.
Right, so just a lucky little bonus action. Oh, so 19.
19
So-
does hit.
I hit
You almost got the. Almost got the net.
6 for another 7 points.
Oh my gosh, Sam is looking badly hurt.
Good.
Badly hurt. Dart in the shoulder. You hit him in the. So, it all comes down to this.
It does.
One last punch. They will call me the One Punch Man.
They will not. I will make sure they don't.
Okay. Suzie, that is your turn.
I'm gonna try and shoot Sam.
You go ahead.
Again, don't hit me.
No, that's not even true. It's not even what's on that piece of paper anymore. It's +9. 24.
24 hit.
Oh,
Thank you. And it... Thank you.
this is just Indiana Jones. The dude's doing his sword tricks.
Yep.
Do I re-roll? Three's pretty good. I'm gonna try re-rolling.
Okay.
Just for fun.
Okay.
It's 6! Because because I took the piercer feat, so when I roll piercing damage, once per turn I can re-roll
Try for
one of
more.
the damage dice to try for more. So, that is going to be 11 points of piercing damage.
Reaction.
No!
Deflect missiles.
No!
Yes, boy, go ahead, catch it, throw it back.
Reduces the damage to 0.
Oh, throw it back.
That's so rude.
That's so cool.
This bullet keeps it in his hand. The heat of the metal. The
Oh,
kinetic
fuck
force.
off! And I use my bonus action to No! Action surge, bitch!
Just recocks the gun.
15 again, making it a 24 to hit.
You do, in fact, hit.
Okay, that's gonna be 8 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Wasn't ready for that one.
And actually, action surge is not a bonus action.
No.
I do that, and then I take my knife and I just jab Crammer in the leg.
Okay, you're taking Crammer instead of Pick? Pick's the injured one. Crammer's fine.
Nah, I'll do Pick again.
Cool.
That's a natural 1, so it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, you shoot this incredible moment of, like, and Dendro, you see him catch a bullet out
So
of
this
the
man
air.
captured a bullet. That is insane.
I have achieved something. Oh god!
Oh Jesus!
Just recocked the gun and shot me again. I thought I was fast.
You were.
I
You
was
were,
so
but
fast.
She's got more than one.
More than one bullet. Oh shit!
Oh, I feel for you, dude.
I feel like shit, dude.
Oh, me too.
I'm then gonna walk up. Here. I'll take the...
You'll take the attacks of
Yeah.
opportunity. A 2 and a natural 1.
Nope.
Ain't
hit,
gonna hit with
surprisingly.
that. You
So
just
I
walk-
shoot
They
this
just
man,
stab
I
each other.
go and I look back, I don't hit Pick, and I go, fuck it. I look back and I make eye contact with Sam, and I walk straight towards him.
You walk straight towards Sam. He has your bullet in his hand. And first, let's resolve Pick and Crammer's turns. They're gonna throw knives at Susie's back.
Have fun.
That's what we're gonna do. Rude. I've been rolling very badly.
I've been rolling, other than those, like, 2 15s, so something in the air. We need to smudge this room.
Yeah. Bots, look out! Just coming right at you! Throws a couple of knives. Nothing at all. Sam breathed. It was for this moment. I proved myself worthy of my ancestors in this moment. Suzie.
Mhm.
Does a 17 hit you?
Yeah.
Sam flurry jabs and then comes in. Fist slow motion makes its way, and he takes that stance. You guys see it. The fist coming. The fist connects. And when that happens, I'm gonna need a strength saving throw from Suzie.
Is there anything I can do in this moment as like a reaction?
Do you have a reaction that suits this trigger?
I don't have any reactions, no.
No. Then
15.
15 against meets it, beats it. You meet his thing, so this does. You are successful on that save, and you take this and this. You take 11 points of bludgeoning damage and 7 points of thunder damage. For a total of 18. As Sam manifest blow. Forged heart technique. Ah! Gets you in the stomach. You feel the wind go out of you. There's this just boom. This boom. Can I get a con saving throw?
Uh, 18.
18. More than fair. That beats that, so we spent a couple key points for nothing. Does 18... 18 is more than half of your hit points.
Yes.
So, use the keyboard to make you do a save. I'm just checking to make sure that I'm not effing up the rules on monks. One sec. Can I get a second con save?
6.
Okay. The way this is ordered is weird. Would you like for... He's trying to do an effect to you, and then there's the con save for massive damage.
I'd like the con save for massive damage to be the second one.
Yep. So you cough up blood as your ribs are broken and one perforates your lung. And you just hear this sickening crunch and kind of see his fist come out out the back of Suzie. This is like you are not stunned. And then can I get a dexterity saving throw? Because there are a lot of things happening at the same time here.
Natural 20 for 27.
Well, damn.
Thank you, baby.
And takes last attack, substitutes his breath weapon, and belches acid at you. And you are going to take half of this quantity of damage. You're going to take 5 points of acid damage.
Okay.
Boom. Guys, you see Suzie going from looking totally fine to looking not great in one moment. And Sam has this look of elation on his face and relief. He did it. I mastered the technique. However, then it's Piuwhgieawrg's turn.
Yes.
We're still in combat.
I am going to... Is friend still in effect?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to try and quietly walk up to Sam.
You're right. You're beside him, yeah.
Yeah. I, point my knife at the back of his neck, and I whisper in his ear, "You've learned what you need to know now. You can let these people go. We can either do this the easy way or the hard way. Just give us your belt.
Intimidation advantage. Go for it.
Thank you very much. Intimidation. That is a 21.
This sigh of relief exits Sam, who's looking so badly injured, and feels this knife at the back of his neck, sees the shadow that you cast over him, and he closes his eyes, opens them, nods. Okay. Drops the bullet. Okay. Enough. Enough. Stand down. Estatorio brothers. Big Kramer. Stand down. Enough. Take the belt and go.
You fucking go. You're the one who can go back and become a driver. These people have their lives here.
I have gotten what I came for. You let me go to the motorcycle. We will leave.
All right.
For what it's
Slow.
worth, I pick up the belt.
Yes, you pick up the
And
belt.
I look at Sam and be like, I really believe in you to do the right thing. But I really hope, but I really believe also that you realize what it means to be alive. Not by the expectations of others, but what you want to do. And just walks off.
What did you roll there, Kieran?
Just to see if my poison dart came back, and on a 6 it does.
Good to know. Very solid to know that. Sam begins to walk to the motorbike.
I look at Piuwhgieawrg. Do you know how to disable that?
Hop on my back.
Pardon?
Hop on my back.
Who?
Suzie.
Okay.
I don't know. I
I'd
don't know how
do
to
it.
disable. I don't know how to disable a motorbike. I'm just gonna run.
I meant your.
Divine.
I meant the AI thing.
So you have the inhibitor in your hand. Yes.
I thought you meant the motorbike.
All I need to know is whether you're letting Sam get on the motorbike.
I do.
I'm gonna call out wait before he gets there.
He
Wait.
stops where he is.
We have to make sure that this works and frees up the Warforged here before you go. Alright?
Alright. I'm gonna put it on the floor.
Okay.
And then... Yeah, this is how we do it. I cast Chromatic Orb.
Oh, okay.
That'll be Porgy's first time, learning how to use it.
There you go.
It's poetic.
Hey, Sam,
Yeah.
where's wheat?
Well, that's what all this was about, wasn't it? You got him right there.
No, please tell me I heard that before I cast that.
You haven't cast a thing.
Okay, so Porgy's about to do something and then hears that and goes,
Show us how to disable what's keeping the Warforged here.
No,
Tell
I
us.
think that's leverage.
What the Frog
That's
said,
language.
I
How far away is he?
intercepted the net. Took one of them when they died.
How did he die?
Sam is going to jump on the bike.
I rolled a fucking 20, Josh. No, he's not. No, he's not.
It would be you next to the initiative. Okay. How much damage do you do?
Oh, sorry, my heart is pumping. So what? That's max. So a D4
So-
plus 5 is
Right.
what I normally do.
So 9 plus a roll of the d4 again.
Yeah. For another 4 points.
13 points of damage. Dendro, how do you want to do this?
As I've walked up, before I throw this punch, I'm gonna look him square in the eyes and say, "Same path, brother. There can't be two of us." And then punch him.
Stone
the
fucking
chest.
cold, hot frog.
Is this lethal or non-lethal damage?
Oh, this is lethal.
Lethal damage. How does Dendro kill this guy?
I'm mimicking what I watched him do to Suzie.
Can I get you to roll a d20 for me if you want a 16 through 20?
Okay. There's a 2.
Cool. You try to mimic what was done to Suzie. You've been hitting pretty hard anyway. And you kind of go like, oh, I see. Like, this is a whole thing.
It snapped. I've read this in one of my books.
And what I will give you, actually, roll me just an insight check
Yeah.
as you attempt to mimic these movements.
That is a 16 plus 5, 21.
Absolutely incredible. You, even as your fist is making its way through the abdomen of the Dragonborn, Sam, you kind of understand something about the technique that he was trying to use. Based on what you saw the other Warforged do and what he was doing, it's like,
This is the fucking way of the weapon.
this is the way of the living weapon.
Mm.
There's a fundamental step that happens before you get to what he was trying to do. There's something that comes first.
Yeah.
And you feel it in your fist. There's something that you need to train in your fists before you try to put that amount of force behind the blow.
Yeah.
He was doing it wrong. Which is part of the reason why it took him so long to get anywhere. And even what you saw was an incomplete version of the blow.
Mm.
Your
And then,
fist
I
makes
just
it out
put
the
my
back.
fist through his chest.
Makes it out the back of the Sam, and you pull your fist out, sort of like green blood starts sizzling, not unpleasantly, around your hand. He goes, she's gonna be so... And he falls back dead on the ground.
Dendro.
Just looking at the other two. The Crammer and Pick. Scram.
Yeah, Kramer goes, and Pick goes, well, that's the end of our gig. We're gonna disappear before anybody from Amazon can track us down. Goodbye.
Best of luck.
And
No hard feelings.
they drive away as fast as they possibly can, having no reason to stay any longer.
Dendro. You didn't
What's
do
that?
what you just... You didn't need to kill him.
Yeah, you did.
Yeah, I did.
I go pick up wheat.
You go pick up this black
that's n-
short cylinder.
I hug wheat.
You hug it.
Piuwhgieawrg, he was not a good person.
This is not what I came here to do. I did not came... Come on.
It's not on you. I did that. We're still going to help you find John. I still want to do that, but I mean, this Sam, he held Spirit hostage to a whole group of brothers just to learn a fancy move. Like, what would he do when he wants to learn in the next one?
And he was gonna go back to Mount Zion and work for the fucking oligarchs there. And that's not...
I just really hoped he would have learned better. What do we do with wheat?
Bring him to his brothers and sisters.
Sure, they can put him in another body.
They can.
It's just
Should be
lucky we
able
didn't
to.
destroy him.
Yeah. Damn.
You bring wheat back to Dew, who says, "Thank you for doing this. Very glad that you did not touch the buttons on this what is actually known as a a digital soul cage is what this device is actually known as. Essentially, fiddling with the buttons on this device has the ability to erase the consciousness of wheat. Destroying it releases it back into the net. So, destroying it would have been okay.
Oh,
Which
Good
is
to know now.
that's good to know. That's good to know.
all good.
You got a body bet ready for wheat?
We do. They bring out sort of a cobbled together, clearly Warforged, clearly the same design, but just the parts are a little bit different, bit more unique. Bit of metal from all these different ships and things, and puts it on the ground and stomps on it. And there's a moment where just a little white blue flicker through the eyes of all of the gathered Warforged who come and congregate, sort of 200 Warforged around this center where Dew is stomped on this digital soul cage. And then there is a blink, blink. And new Warforged stands up. Thank you all very much.
Our pleasure.
It is very important that we not perish when we cannot make more of ourselves. What you have done is a very meaningful thing. Thank you.
I go hug wheat.
Suzie! I like hugs.
I know. You're good at them too.
Thank you for the chance to practice.
Anytime, wheat.
You have friends.
Yeah, I do. These are my friends. This is
That's sort of-
Piuwhgieawrg. This is Dendro.
I crouched down to the floor and sort of steady myself.
I heard that that Sam was hoarding some healing potions. Is that true?
Yes, any healing potions that we had, he took into the home in the center of the junkyard. Would you like to go there?
Yes, please.
I not only would like to ransack the house, but just like explore the whole house, see what's in there. That I can.
And the junkyard for some cool bits for the ship.
Yeah.
Like, we got to decorate.
I am going to use second wind just to get back some, because I'm at 1.
You're also at 1.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Right,
Well, for
29
once, I'm the
points
one
of
with the most hit
damage.
points.
I'm
That
at
was-
10
that was-
now.
That was a rough fight. That was good.
Yeah.
That was nail-bitingly close.
That
Yeah.
was really close. Well done,
And Josh,
guys.
you whiffed a lot.
Yeah.
Oh my
Oh my
god.
god.
I think taking that dodge action was quite smart.
It was so smart. It was so smart.
Well done.
Well done.
Well done. Very strategic.
First time I've ever done that.
Well done! What's happening?
It's my birthday!
Hey!
Oh, there
Happy
we go.
birthday!
Happy
Happy birthday.
Oh. Amazing. You guys head to the house, looking to ransack it. These guys refund Row 70 gold and say that they are going to refuel your ship for free. Absolutely. And see if there's anything else in the scrapyard that they could potentially do to reinforce the ship. Give you any upgrades they can.
We need a new table and some chairs.
They go looking for tables and chairs. You go, and you're going to find a couple just normal potions of healing and one superior potion of healing.
Alright, before anyone drinks these, let's just take a rest, because these could come in real handy in fights and when we don't have moments to rest. So let's just take a rest and we'll save these.
Let's have a look around. I'm just gonna sit on this this raft. It's got some holes, but it looks quite comfy.
If you want like a beanbag bed, raft bed, we can make that happen.
That'd be great.
Yeah, let's do that.
You get Dendro in a little dinghy with a beanbag chair.
I just need some hay.
You need some hay. Warforged look a little bit like, I don't know if we can do that, but we can look. Very quick. Not able to get hay for you, but if you're looking for like a bed, they're like pile up some mattresses. You know.
It'll do.
Back up to 8 hit points. I'm taking it we can do like a short rest, use a hit dice.
So you will be able to do, so you do, yes, you can do a short rest if you'd like to roll those hit points back. Now if you would like, you're all right.
Do you
I didn't take any damage.
do you add your con
I do
mod?
not believe so.
That's what I thought. I just am checking.
Yeah.
If it's possible, I actually would like to go into the bricked house, see if there's any like personal belongings of Sam.
Yeah, absolutely, you can do that.
Any books? Books
Books
about the way.
Cool. I'll look for specifically that, but also
Oh,
personal
wait.
belongings.
I'll wave one of my books. Like this.
Looks like this. Got it. Anybody who's going into the house, give me an investigation check.
Oh, for fuck's sake. That's a 9.
That's
9.
an 11.
Okay.
Can I ask Wheat to come help us? Because
Yes.
Wheat has presumably seen a lot of the inside of the house.
Yes, absolutely. Let's do an investigation with advantage for Wheat. But high intelligence, 16.
Thank you, Wheat.
Wheat goes into sort of like the upper floor. you guys have a look around the ground floor. Yeah, you look around. There are some sort of like notes and diagrams on a desk that Piuwhgieawrg finds that seem to like have like drawings of like martial stances and things. And Suzie, you find a couple of different geese. They're all very ostentatious.
I take him so Dendro has an array.
And you find 500 gold.
Oh,
Sam had
thank
gold. And then you hear a... Suzie, there is a gentleman up here who is asking for you by name.
upstairs?
Upstairs.
What does he look like?
Could you come up here, please?
Can I roll an insight check to see if Wheat is, like, distressed or
Yeah.
lying or... That's 10.
Hard to tell.
I go upstairs. I try to listen out if I can hear anything on my way up.
You do not hear anything on your way up. Through a room, through a door. You open the door. Sitting in an armchair. Looking at you. Wheat on the side of the room that you're on. He's opposite. Wings furled behind his back. Is Elora, the Dockmaster of Piuwhgieawrg.
Hey, buddy.
Did you really think that you could make a fool out of me, Suzie Coyne?
What are you talking about?
I'm not blind, you moron. I can see your ship outside. You hired a bunch of green little chaos beans to steal it for you, and you stayed to have an alibi in the ship, and here you are the next day. And you have made me look the fool in front of him.
And?
On Sekahashis, everything was geared towards survival. Every single
I leave the
thing.
room.
Maybe do a bit of yelling.
You turn.
I don't turn. I back the fuck out.
Casts magic missile, dealing 25 points of force damage to you. You are thrown backwards through a brick wall and are instantly dead. And that is where we are going to end tonight's
Happy birthday!
session. Happy birthday! Tune in next time for the continuing adventures of the crew of the Arrow in Seeking the Hidden Realms.
Womp womp womp.
Bye-bye!
Bye bye.